Well, hello, old friend.
Hey.
Or not so old because you're like over 5 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Over six. Anyway, I'm going to present myself. Thanks for joining. So, how's your day been, S-Man?
Uh, Not the best. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Oh shit,
The
sorry
week
to
did not
ask.
start off too well, so just yeah. How have you been?
I've been all right. I'm actually hungry right now. I bought myself dinner and it's just literally sitting right underneath my nose here and I'm not touching it yet. Main
Yep.
reason for being is that I want to like attract a little bit more of a podcast going on here so that there can be people talking to each other to occupy the airwaves
Mm-hmm.
by then so I can enjoy my meal. I
What
mean,
is it?
I
What are you
guess
having?
I bought myself there's this one place in Wichita called TJ's Burger House. It's like a small business in one of the
Mm-hmm.
older areas of town. It's a pretty good
Yeah.
burger joint actually. I got myself a
Yeah.
jalapeno cheeseburger from there.
Nice. In Salt Lake City, there's a I think it's called Moochie's or something. Best meatball subs ever.
Moochies? Do they make subs in
Yeah, I think that's what
general?
they call it. Yeah. They are pretty good though.
You know what I notice about New York City? I mean,
Hmm.
I haven't been to New York City often. I mean, especially not in recent memory. But whenever I gone looking through the Google Maps 3D view, you know how in Google Maps you can like do a street view of what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot when I was much younger and more bored. But when I did that, I
Yeah.
would notice that there's like a whole bunch of delis there.
Yeah.
And I guess that's
Salt
the
Lake compared
easiest
to the
thing to
rest of
do.
the state feels like a mini New York with how many people are in that county alone.
I would make the same comparison to Wichita, except we do not have an abundance of skyscrapers.
Yep.
Probably more like Kansas City would feel like the New York of Kansas, the New York City of Kansas, but that's like if I was to include the entire part of Kansas City,
What's
both
up?
Yeah.
Missouri and Kansas City side.
Hello.
Yep.
Ah,
Can anybody hear
hello there,
me?
Conundrum.
Hello.
Hello.
Conundrum, I can hear you. Can you
Hello.
hear
Can
me?
anybody hear me right now? Big
I can hear
Dutchie's in
Yes.
the
you.
house.
Can you hear us? Conundrum. Maybe I ought to message him or something.
Boy.
Um, can you still hear me, S-Man?
Yes.
Can anybody hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Big Dutchie's in the house.
How's your week been going, Conundrum?
Pretty good. Doing laundry.
Yeah, I got that going at the moment. That's why I joined. I was deciding against it, but I don't know what else to do right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Just got some more laundry done.
Yeah.
Can you
The
hear us
alt-right
now?
video.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So we got a little bit more of a podcast going on here.
Yeah. So the video I plan on doing is actually coming along faster than I expected. I'm almost 20 minutes in. And it's around like almost 40 minutes. So I've
Yeah.
cut through it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still have yet to finish up my response video to Sahil Habibi, the Asian Pillsbury Doughboy, also known as the Progressive Voice.
Oh.
The left's version of Caden Cagger. I know what you're going to say, Conundrum. JJ! Our man JJ.
Pardon my wetness because I'm so wet from being wet.
We don't need to
I took a shower.
know whether or
I
not
took a
you've
shower.
recently been
Calm
looking
down.
at porn.
Dreaming of Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash again, JJ?
No, I was currently taking a shower because I didn't take a shower last night.
Oh, you nasty fucker. I'm practically forced to take a shower daily for my line of work.
Yeah.
In the type of classes I have, I do it every day. I did my final inspection in military leadership today, where we dressed in uniform. I showered last night and this morning, and everything felt all right. You know, it feels nice to have your tie nice and freshly tied, and it feels nice to get out of that uniform because it's mostly black and blue, like dark blue. You feel like you're burning alive in there.
What part of the ROTC are you in, S-Man?
Just military leadership. There's like rifle teams and things like that. Color guard.
ROTC?
No, just Army GROTC.
I was in the Marine Corps version. I made it up to Lance Corporal. What rank are you?
Private E2.
Nice.
Yeah, and unfortunately, well, actually, I won't be able to go to the award ceremony this year, but I heard I'm getting at least 2 awards, so I'm gonna hope I can at least see those before the end of the year.
Sweet.
I will not be able to make any videos this week, except maybe an S-Man live, but it's gonna be like shorter than JJ's patience for nonsense.
Oh, what happened this time?
It's actually a good thing, like a positive event, but I won't be able to be around here on because I'm preparing for the event starting tomorrow. So basically, I have from then till it finally kicks off, and well, basically it's a wedding. So I'm just it's like someone I know is getting married and I'm going to the guy's wedding. I'm very happy for the guy because he's like a very nice guy, and you know.
Sweet.
Isn't it your cousin or something?
Hey guys, I have to announce this. Here we have back from the dead, the Mjolnir man himself, Thor.
Oh, my brother. Great.
Hey, Mjolnir man.
How's
Mjolnir?
it going? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
That sounds good.
Anyway, like I said in the side chat here, don't mind if I go silent, you guys. I'm gonna be eating my meal.
And I will be busy from 1 o'clock until whatever time tomorrow.
Because you got an appointment with me, boy.
No, it's called senior tea. I have to do it. Mjolnir Crusader. Hell to the fuck no.
Hell yeah, boy.
Yeah, but it's been about 6 months since me and the man of the Mjolnir have spoken in a hangout.
Yeah, it's been a while.
First
you sound
time
sick, bro.
To this individual.
Yeah.
You congested or something? You sound sick, man.
Me?
Oh yeah, allergy.
Oh, no, I'm just really tired. I just had ROTC today and we dressed and it was 1,000 degrees outside, and if you wear the full uniform in Antarctica, you'll be fine. You don't even need to wear anything else. But I also have allergy season going, which is just kicking my ass. So I'm having a lot of fun dealing with that. Conundrum sounds more stuffed up than me, and
yeah, I'm allergic to bullshit.
I'm allergic to pollen.
There's a lot of it going around, so
I'm allergic to pollen, anime, and furries. And emos. Well, I'm only one out of those 3 things.
You're also a brony, JJ.
JJ's
no
emo.
Judging. It's been a while, so like, who's this Conundrum guy? Because I don't think he was around when I was around.
Oh, he was. You just never talked to him. Yeah, he's a chill dude. He does poetry, like gameplays. Basically, a chill YouTuber. I've had the pleasure to talk to him in streams, just shooting the shit. You know, that type of thing. And I first met him through. I first heard of him through a certain somebody whose name is as relevant as who was the first president of the United States, and At first, it was a misconception. Like, I thought he was a bad guy, and then I actually got to meet and chat with him. Chill dude. Hilarious. I actually had him co-host with me one time, and oh man,
And my fiance,
he kept. Oh yeah, she's very nice too. Conundrum, like when he roasts somebody, you got to call the fire department, considering of like the 7th degree burns he'll leave you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He did one of Danny Courts, and I still have yet to edit down and upload that video. I'm sorry, Conundrum.
hey, that's cool. That's awesome sauce. Hey.
As for Mjolnir Man, he makes whatever videos that his heart desires. He used to go about politics and religion, and then he started just doing what felt right, and here he is today. It's kind of funny looking whenever I watch some of his videos, how he just introduces himself. AK sliced you really bad. When he roasts somebody, he just slices through them.
Always, man.
Um,
I had a katana and everything set up for that. I never followed through with it though.
I used to have a really cringy intro, and then I deleted all the videos that intro was. It was just be like, "What's up, bitches?" Oh, my brain hurts whenever I think about the fact I did that. I thought I was supposed to be taken seriously. Oh, God. I would much rather spend the entire day with Danny Courts than think about doing that ever again.
Hey, remember the one time that I came in on a Jostle Live opening up with "What's up, bitches"?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I do remember the first stream you did appear on there with us. That was a monumental stream. It was very fun. It's a shame it no longer exists. I mean, there's a few Jostle Lives that were a lot of fun, especially when Google it would just lambaste JJ in the chat.
Well, S-Man, I do have the video of Jocelyn reaching 2,000 subscribers where he's flailing his arms around like a Southern Baptist praising Jesus in church.
I actually ran his video.
To be fair to the man, when I made my first video, I kind of did the exact same thing.
For the record, Conundrum, you said subscribers, not views.
Views, yeah. Views.
Yeah. God help us if Jocelyn ever reached 2,000 subscribers.
The funny thing is, that view thing, I was just waiting for him to go, Hercules.
No, see, like, I stopped going on the Jozo show or whatever, and I didn't really even want to have any live streams or be a part of them with him, because it's like, how are you gonna host a live stream and not even talk like 2 hours through it?
Yeah, because usually, like, I would see people do the same thing, but they would say, "Oh, I'm hosting. I want to give everyone else a chance to say something." It's like, okay. However, when he does say anything, he'll just go, "Yeah," or "Uh-huh," or "Okay," or just repeating what they said as if he truly agrees with it.
I'm a fat fuck that never leaves bed, so I'm kind of stuck here because I'm melted to the bed.
Gossiping live streams being 2 hours, it's just 2 hours for him to utter one sentence and the stream is over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just posit that he's probably like the breakin apprentice, man. Let's just get that out of the way right now.
No, even breakin, talented.
Actually, Mjolnir Man, I made a response video to one of his videos about ranting about America. He's like talking about people who take advantage of the system, and he mentions Brett Keane, and I'm like, I don't know the context of why he's doing it, and he never explains. Maybe he is, but that's like, it was the relevance of what he was saying was as relevant as his new account.
And the funny thing is, in the background is his poop stain, huge encrusted sheets. Or is that
Wait, yeah, I saw that, and like you posited a frame where he said like, "Oh, this is my American flag behind me," and I was like, "That looks like a bed sheet or like a silk sheet or something."
Like his cum stained sheets.
Yeah, that
you just see me laughing right
now. Off to Google it about. He's like, "Damn you, Google it! Oh, I'll get you again!" Oh.
Let's talk about the mixtapes, though, boy.
Oh my god, when I listened to Jocelyn's first diss track on us, I could not stop laughing.
I
Like,
can't stop laughing either.
You gotta give him some creativity points though. Like he could have just made like an ownage video, but he took it a step further. Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't even have to sing to burn him.
When I did my diss track, like I realized that, you know, like there was like I knew there were some people singing over that part, but I'm like, I don't care. I just wanted to roast him to show that I could, even though I have no talent whatsoever, I still put in more effort than he did. It took me like about a few days to write it and about a week to film and edit and upload, and I still put in more effort in it. My favorite part was the You're rapping as shitty as your own microphone. You've made your bed and you're gonna have to lie in it forever alone. I'm not gonna lie, that was one part I liked.
What is he?
I will admit,
what does he use to record though? Is it like one of those clip-on mics or like those really cheap like $15 ones you pick up at Best Buy in the clearance section? Or is that like
I think Stein was during the poetry slam of him was, I got 99 problems, but a keeper cast bitch ain't one.
Yeah. But Mjolnir man, what I used my microphone is not even like a Blue Yeti. It's actually just the microphone I have on my earphones. Like I just knew what distance to hold it at and what was the best way to record with it. He sounds like he used the built-in microphone on his laptop to record. The background noise drowns him out almost entirely. He mumbles and stutters, and I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
I don't. He's a fat fuck.
But at the same time, it's like, oh, one time he tried to do a music video where he's holding his phone. He doesn't lip sync right. I was just like, oh, this is so painful. And he has a blue wall, so if he actually had decent lighting, oh man, imagine the memes you can make out of that.
Oh yeah.
But the second diss track I'm thinking about, I think I will go through with, was he makes like this really stupid joke where he says that I have HIV or something, and he says that this girl in our group chat gave to me even though she's in Canada and I'm in the United States. He also called her mentally ill, so I'm like, you know what? Apparently,
the punk calling the kettle black.
Can I just get like a recap on that? Because like I'm still like lost. Like I've been inactive, so I don't know like all the nuances and stuff. All I know is like he called Owen McDonald the N-word.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to make my own drama review video, and it will reveal most, if not all, the relevant details. I mean, there's a whole bunch of
it's a long-ass story.
Yeah, and there's some smaller Twitter conversations that are related to this drama, but I won't be able to cover them all because there's so many.
Yeah, like there was. So what happened was, he had the debate. Some people joined. One of them called Owen the N-word. Jocelyn tries to defend that a little bit. He then just leaves the stream, calls Owen that. We try to convince him that these guys that he's associating with are basically, they're not good people. They're really messed up. And it seems like he's apologetic, remorseful. He feels bad. And he says, I'm not associating with them anymore. And then he just keeps flaking, like, I won't do it. I will do it. And then I did a stream, and in the chat, which he deleted his channel, so the chat messages aren't there anymore. But
also,
man,
the thing he did was he jerked off the Barbara Bush.
And don't forget Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
When they both died, he did that, and then he apparently poured urine over his own head.
Oh.
That's why we were saying these guys are bad news.
So, Conundrum. You say that you joined the KeeperCast stream temporarily, only to witness while you were there that Jossa was being bribed by KeeperCast to jack off to Barbara Bush and Stephen Hawking, right?
Yep.
If Rosalind
both were in that.
If Rosalind Carter dies, oh god.
And the thing is, I didn't even communicate it with them. I just put it in a typing thing. Because I didn't want them to hear the shit they were saying. Or respond to it.
And here's the thing, right? Basically, I had a stream with him where basically it was almost like a debate in a sense, where I'm trying to get it through to him. We started talking. I said, "Did you actually do that pour piss over your own head?" And he said, "Yes." "Did you actually masturbate to the death of Barbara Bush?" "Yes." He said he did. I said, "Did you feel embarrassed about it?" He said he felt very embarrassed about it. And I try to be empathetic, but in this case, it's like it's not hard to just block and do not unblock. It's not hard at all. And basically, when I first heard that he had called Owen the N-word in DM, I was like, oh, man, what are you thinking? Like, first of all, the guy didn't do anything to you, and second of all, even if he did, that's not like I would have mocked him for the fact his teeth are as crooked as Jocelyn's ability to be consistent on anything. Or I would have said, ha ha ha, you have a lazy eye. Or I would have thought of something other than the fact the guy has a different skin color. Or I wouldn't have said anything, period, and just would have, tried to sweep this under the rug. And he just made it so much worse. And then he, in the live chat of the stream I had done, which I don't know if Zach's going to feature or not, which I don't mind if he does or doesn't, but he kept
You're talking
the
about the stream of the century?
Yes, but yeah,
I'm
the
gonna
stream.
feature
It's
it.
called the stream of because we just like the number of thug life moments in there was just like overwhelming, especially on Twitter and that stream. And then in the most recent stream I've done, and I have not done anything on my channel since then, this Saturday, the cell phoneage and the ponage on our behalf was just overwhelming.
Yeah.
Basically, I wouldn't be surprised if Jocelyn and Sailor Star Protector would ever start a family. Hopefully not, but you never know.
Yeah.
And like observing Owen from a distance for the amount of time I have, I feel like Owen would be the type to take that and run with it. And he'd be like, "Oh, look at those poor bastards over there calling me the N-word. Just a bunch of racist white people over there."
Actually,
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna have to tell Mjolnir Man this.
That.
You know Cult of Ham, right?
I've seen him in the chat before. Yeah.
Yeah.
He called when Owen was in that group chat. Poor bastards. He actually did call Owen the N-word in anger, and Owen went public with it. Tweeted screen caps. Started a whole disaster.
And then you had his little lackey,
who reported the group chat, saying it was a racist server. Well, Owen said it too.
Yeah.
And fortunately, the group chat never did disappear. I mean, I took names of whoever was in the chat just so if it does go down, we could just open another group chat. And he left, and then some random geek left, and then after that, it was in the Ham. He's a funny guy, but I was just glad that he's never done that again. And then with Jocelyn doing it, it's like I have Owen in a second group chat because he asked if he could return, and I'm like, I can't because you've been blocked or you blocked somebody, so I'll just add you in the second group chat to get you to not ask again. And someone threatened to dox him or said they would have Mr. Mediker go after him. That was Aircraft Sparky. Oh, it was so funny just seeing Owen freak out and seeing Aircraft Sparky saying such stupid things. It was just a beautiful sight.
He is a stupid motherfucker.
I haven't really like put my 2 cents too much on this whole like Jazogate thing. But as someone who's like been inactive but kind of has kept in touch off and on with Jazaman in the past few months, I feel like this whole thing could have been avoided if he didn't drop that slur and then he just said like, I'm just gonna associate with whoever I want to, no matter the allegiance. Like, even if he did still drop an N-bomb on Owen, he could have just, I'm sure like Owen probably would have forgiven him like, oh, it's just dumb kid shit.
Yeah, and I mean, he can associate with whoever he wants, but he kept, like, from what he described, it sounded like an abusive, horrible type of relationship, if you will, and he kept saying, I'm done with these guys. I just, he said he kept lying. If he would have just said straight up, I'm just gonna, yeah, if he would have just said, hey, I'm associating with whoever I want, or if he would have just kept his word, even if it was staying with him or not, this whole thing would have never gone to where it went. And then
we wouldn't even care if he did hang out with Keeper Cast if he hadn't even started smearing them and kind of insinuating that they are psychopaths, basically. I mean, don't even know really of how bad of people they are anyway, because most of the words, most of the information that we know on Keeper Cast is coming from a pathological liar, that being Jocelyn.
I mean, I know nothing of them. I've only heard like snippets. And
yeah,
it was a bullying situation. Like, if it was real life, that'd suck. But like, this is the internet. You could block them at free will, like somebody said earlier.
Yeah, and also after that, the group chat went to insanity. It's fine. Then this last Saturday, the group chat went to insanity and to like Cult of Hammer noises sometimes. But not even he screwed up as royally as this one dude in the chat, Voltaire. Yeah, he said it was okay to hate LGBT people and their culture, and I was pissed because I know people who are.
And before he said that, he even said women shouldn't be able to vote.
I'm still kind of skeptical on him on the claims of his legal position on women voting. I mean, I noticed him talking some rather sexist, pseudo-philosophical mumbo-jumbo about women, but that doesn't necessarily interpret his legal position. I mean, I guess it would.
He stated it clearly. He stated it clearly.
I'm gonna have to ask him that tomorrow when I interview him. Then.
I think it's like what he was saying was borderline MGTOW logic.
Yeah, and he also was saying a bunch of anti-Semitic. He's pretty anti-Semitic.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, man.
And
he doesn't believe in free speech.
He doesn't believe in free speech. How do you have an open debate about against free speech if you're using free speech?
And basically everybody and their dog. My best friend is a trans guy. I know several people who are bisexual or gay, and to just hear this guy, saying this shit, in my state, it's pretty socially conservative. And it's interesting to see all the LGBT people who stand up against that type of conservatism, and the type of struggles they do face in this state. And to hear him, sure, he's on the other side of the country, but he's still spewing this shit. I just lost my cool. And then Zach was saying, where did he say that? And telling us to calm down. I just fucking snapped at Zach. Like, I've only done that once before, but not to where I just said, I was just freaking out because I was so pissed,
I think the only other time that you really snapped at me was when I kind of interrupted Owen McDonald in that 1-3-on-2 debate, and I thought he was done speaking for a moment, so I found that as an opportunity to interject. I mean,
to be fair, that first of all, I think I should have, for the 3-on-2, I should have kept. I should have, obviously, to be fair, it was a stream, it was an impromptu one just to hang out, and then imagine my shock. It went from just to shoot the shit to informal debate, and other than that, I've never snapped at Zach, except for in the Twitter chat when Freddie was spewing his shit. Then Humane, being so humane to us, he writes this long thesis in response to everything we said. Then he said something like, on Sunday, he's like, if you have not had sex, you cannot have a sexual orientation. And I'm like, just crying of laughter. So apparently, when I lost my virginity, I realized, even though I've known it my entire life, that I think chicks are better looking than guys. I finally realized that was heterosexuality. I just,
it's not like that is necessarily an offensive thing to say. It's just an utterly stupid thing to say. Sorry, go ahead.
I wasn't offended, but it was stupid.
It's kind of ignorant. Don't quote me on this. But
I was ashamed to even talk to the man.
The thing is, he says he has a humane mind, but yet he has to go. That mind should be under the humane society.
What was he saying?
Humane's all right, but I don't know. He's kind of a nerd. Anyways, what was I saying?
Hey! Nerds are cool, you bastard.
I was I am a poor bastard. Anyways. it kind of sounds ignorant because I remember reading something quite a few number of years back where it said like there's like either a certain hormone not produced in the brain or an extra hormone produced in the brain that basically dictates sexual orientation. And I think it's a lack of a hormone that makes people homosexual, I guess you could say.
And basically humane in some areas. He sounds like a, socially liberal, fiscally conservative, or really libertarian. And then in other places, I'm like, some of the things he said sound so backwards. Like when he was saying gays aren't natural according to the Bible, and like if you want to follow the Bible, and regardless of what you think of it, sometimes he just sounded like he might have some very backwards opinions, and I'm just like,
oh, I definitely caught that vibe a couple times off him, but
yeah, like, I mean, I can agree with him on like, I'm not an ANCAP, but I can agree with him somewhat on economics, social issues, religion, not so much, abortion, not so much, but I thought he was all right.
Is Humane a Christian or?
He's a non-religious theist.
Yeah.
A what?
A non-religious deist.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
there's a question in the chat here. Had it for a little while actually. Do you guys remember who Dick Coyote is? One of my more recent subscribers. He changed his name to Conservatarian Coyote, and he asks, "You guys like metal?"
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I like
Metal. I like it. I mean, personally, I don't mind any specific genre as long as it's tolerable. Then I think the genre is fine. Personal favorite genre, if you made me choose at gunpoint, I'd say is smooth jazz because it chills me out.
You like jazz?
Smooth jazz, you sick bastard.
I've gotten more and more into metal and modern music ever since switching radio stations that I listen to. But yeah.
I listen to all kinds of music.
You want to know one of my favorite music genre is Japanese anime music. Yes.
Yeah, JJ likes
Why
the
am I
music
not
videos, but
surprised?
Like some of the music is pretty good actually.
Some of it is, others is just like the fuck.
All right, I'm not gonna lie, low key, I do jam out to the Inuyasha soundtrack sometimes.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
And
I love Inuyasha, though. Okay, I grew up with that.
And Soul Eater.
I can just picture JJ being an emo. I can just see it.
Oh fuck you! No, I couldn't. I'm too happy for that shit.
I can see him dressing up with mascara and
no.
Black lipstick, and he has like
no.
And JJ having a shirt that says 20% bitchier.
Yes.
Oh, a Conservatarian Coyote says in the chat, pop is more gay than homosexuals.
Depends on the pop.
It's gayer than Milo Yiannopoulos.
This
He
pop
does like
isn't
the BBC.
I'm not gonna lie. I fuck with Justin Bieber's newer music. I'm not gonna lie.
You bastard.
Oh god.
I still laugh at that whole Google it trolling Zach in the chat, and Mjolnir Man's reading it, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's still funny, especially with like you can hear me faintly say, "We accept you, Zach. It's 2017."
Yeah.
That was the
2018.
best. Yes, and I just saw something even more beautiful when Secular Hawk and Voltaire were arguing on Twitter. Like a simple spelling error, just like one letter. Actually, it was two letters. Two letters that make it just sound very gay. Like it was.
Oh, you mean Yas?
No, not. No. I mean, people who do that are degenerate. But people who, because he's talking about. Actually, I don't want to spoil it. I think I'm just gonna make a video. Secular Hawk and Frederick Voltaire Bastiat find true love or something, and
Or you could just call him Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy.
Wait. Frederick Voltaire Bastard?
Yes.
Frederick Voltaire.
Don't call him a bastard. You taint our name that way, Conundrum. Damn it.
Oh,
Frederick Voltaire
That name-
Bastiat.
That name Voltaire kind of reminds me of, like Voldemort.
well,
He who shall not be named.
more suitable because he is a basket case.
Honestly, I don't want to dislike Voltaire, honestly. I mean, it's not just because of the fact that he posts real sexy pictures of women on the Professor's chat.
We all know
What's that laugh
that's-
about, boy?
We all know that's a reason.
Okay, yeah, actually, he is a pretty good source for those. I'm not gonna lie. Guy's got some taste in that area. But it kind of makes you wonder of why he's sharing that. Because, I mean, when you take into account his pseudo-philosophy on women and his alleged legal positions. Like, I still need to... I'm sorry. There's still a little bit of doubt in my mind. I haven't seen the screen caps of him actually saying, no, women shouldn't be legally allowed to vote. I haven't actually heard him say that verbally either. So, yeah.
My thing is with his hatred of gay people, I'm like, maybe he's gay and he's hiding it.
He's a closeted gay.
Yeah.
That's what they say all the time about people who obsess with the issue of homosexuality so much. Caden Cowger.
Yep.
Like Huckabee. Westboro Baptist Church.
Everyone from the South.
Hey, they did say that like the most searched up porn in the Bible Belt was gay porn.
Wait, what?
Wait,
They
what?
did, like, I remember reading some time ago, like I guess Pornhub released its statistics and like some news agency like compiled them, and like most of the Bible Belt was either like looking up like ebony porn or like gay porn.
Oh.
Well, Methodists are usually cool. Are usually cool with that.
Oh god.
They're cool with gay people. They don't really give a fuck as far as I've seen.
Episcopalians,
Josh
dude.
Stein.
Wait, what? What
Josh
Conundrum?
Stein. Come on, everybody knows Josh Fierstein.
Never heard of him.
Oh, Joshua Forstein. Okay, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah,
Oh, you mean foreskin?
that guy's a
Never saw
simpleton.
his videos before.
You mean
Wait,
foreskin?
It's kind of funny that Trainer McCurry worships that guy.
Wait a minute. Trainer McCurry, what?
Worships Josh Fierstein.
Trainer McCurry likes Josh Forstein.
Yep.
That guy is virtually a substance. I mean, his logic is overly simplistic and just, yeah, too bland for my taste for one thing. I mean, I guess that's the main thing that I have with him.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing about Josh is like if you look at his last name, it's like Feuerstein in German, but that means Firestone, and that translates to Flintstone. So he's like literally Fred Flintstone.
All right. How do I sound now?
Pretty good.
Hey, S-Man, you might have to add another subject to your debate against Secular Hawk. Oh, and which, speaking of which, by the way, could I be the moderator of that between you and Hawk?
I'll drop that idea by him and see if that'll work. I think
If he's against, you know, gun ownership. Oh, good lord.
That's that's kind of what he's saying right now in the Poor Bastards chat.
Dark.
Be sure to tell him that if he wants to discuss that on a stream of mine, I'd be willing to do it.
Dark.
Oh,
The
God.
moderator in my debate with S-Man.
Okay, Secular Hawk is really making me like Cult of Ham. He's all like, fuck guns, we don't need them.
Bullshit.
Whatever.
Hunting, protection, recreational use.
JJ
And in case of a zombie apocalypse.
food
That
reviewer
too.
turned
That could possibly happen.
intellectual powerhouse, crushing those gun grabber faggots by the dozens.
Grab him by the pussy and throw him into the Caribbean. Because we all know the gun grabbers are pussies.
But yeah, I mean, I mentioned before that I kind of wanted to try my hand more at debate moderating. I mean, I've kind of semi or quasi moderated a few debates before. Like I tried to be a bit of a mediator between Humane Mind and Bearing in that one debate. But of course, I was also kind of against.
Wait, he debated Bearing? What was this?
Yeah, I debated Bearing. You missed out on a lot, dude. Okay, S-Man is experiencing internet connections again. I'm glad it's not me.
Dark, you could be my moderator.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
What, for a space exploration?
Yep.
I don't.
I mean, hey, S-Man. You still there?
Oh, hey, guys. Wait, what?
He was talking about like debate moderating, and we got that one on the 13th. I don't know if Zach's got any free time. He can moderate that one. Like
and there was one debate that you two wanted to do, and I was gonna mod. I don't know if you still
get that done too.
Yeah, I still remember the topics at hand because you two obviously seem to disagree on that a lot, but. As for the debate with Secular Hawk, I think I finally got a specific date out of the guy. He says June 8th.
He better not chicken out.
A month from now?
Well, he is a hawk, and hawks are kind of close to chickens, so therefore...
Well, I guess, to be fair, the guy might not have all that much time on his hands, although it is weird that sometimes he I don't do these hangout things. Good.
Well, when you tried to first schedule the debate, though, he kept on backing out, like saying, "Oh no, I cannot participate in it." Something came up. "Oh no, yeah, sorry, we have to reschedule again, S-Man," and so on and so forth.
That's why I'm not scheduling the event until like the day before. Like if I can confirm that guy's going to show, and if he doesn't show, I'm just going to use that hangout stream as a let's, buddy.
You're just going to use that stream as a what?
As a way.
Damn it!
And he's dead.
Close but no cigar, buddy.
S-Man, please respond. S-Man! S-Man!
He's probably thinking we'd just use that as a regular hangout stream or something like that.
By the way, I'm talking to Hawk saying I'd be down to debate you on this subject if you liked.
S-Man, please respond. S-Man! S-Man!
Oh, Snake! Snake!
Okay, so we can hear you now, S-Man. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes, man.
Yes.
Okay, that was weird. That was the gayest yes that I have ever heard from you. Yeah.
I was trying to think of something funny to say, and it's not as gay as JJ going yas.
You just did it yourself. Now you sound gay.
Hey, S-Man, you remember when you what?
Anyway, go ahead.
You remember the one stream that the Cancer Podcast number 3, and you came in off air and you just opened up with the nigger? You could have just done that. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Okay. Let me explain to everybody. So it was the morning after.
If you say that 3 times in the mirror, Jocelyn Man appears behind you.
Oh, good God.
oh man.
Okay.
Speaking of Jocelyn, I kind of
the entire clown mixtape EP with his shirt off behind you in the mirror. In full garb. I'm salty about that because I gave that dude free beats and he shit all over him, man.
I know, and I don't know, there was this one beat.
Okay, Secular Hawk. Secular Talk. Secular Talk. Secular Hawk. He kind of toned down his rhetoric, and the poor bastard. So
he said we should stop. He said, I don't want to ban guns or even types of guns, but we should stop certain types of people from getting guns. I do agree with that.
Secular. What's his name? Secular fuck? I don't get that name.
I don't know. S-Man kind of suspected that Secular Hawk was parodying off of Secular Talk, I guess, or something. I don't know. I mean, before he took down his channel, he actually had a response video to Secular Talk, Secular Talk. That's kind of confusing.
Secular
Mjolnir man, you kind
homosexuals.
of Mjolnir man,
Actually,
you
no.
kind of giggled at that. What was up with that?
Oh, what? Giggle at what?
When I said that Secular Hawk once did a response video to Secular Talk.
Oh, because Okay, so this is gonna sound really stupid, but I flipped the first letters of the first or the words around, so I thought like hecular sock in my head.
Oh,
What the heck was sock? I'm
However,
secular
Zach,
Hawk's retarded brother.
hey,
I
get
think-
off the weed right now, Mjolnir.
I'm clean. I've been clean for a while.
Oh bullshit! You have.
Yeah, I
You
have.
sound
actually.
high right now, bub.
That's just
No,
him.
that's me, man. I'm just stupid, bro. Like, what do you want me to say?
Maybe your mom was
You're
high and
stupid
then
or
it
you're
just
mellow.
maybe it's just
I-
transferred to your DNA.
I think the reason Secular Hawk goes by the name is he's secular with his style of government and a hawk on foreign policy, I guess.
I
don't
guess
know.
What's with like all these YouTubers doing like animals now? It seemed like after Bearing did it, like everybody wants to be an animal on YouTube.
Yeah.
If I was to be an animal, I think I'd be a snake.
Snake! Snake!
I don't know
Anyway.
what I don't know what I'd be.
You'd be a grizzly bear.
Dove flying high above.
Why?
I'm just saying. It's because whenever I see you like in camera or whatever, I kind of make me think of a grizzly bear. I mean, I'm not trying to say that you're fat or anything, but I mean, you say
I'm a
that
bit
you're
stocky.
not that. Yeah,
He's a
you're a little bit stocky. You're a little bit. Wait, what?
Stalker.
I have a petition. I'm gonna make a petition on petition.org for JJ to change his name to NRA Chicken McChicken. NRA.
I don't even really support the NRA that much.
I think the NRA kind of bogs down the conversation on guns because whenever gun control gets mentioned up, it's all the time. These gun rights advocates, they are only supported because the NRA. And it
Yeah,
kind of
oh my
bogs down
god,
the
the
conversation.
chat. Curtis Lee Johnson in the chat. What the hell, dude?
Oh god.
What do you mean?
I
What
don't-
the hell?
The avatar I would use is a demon because I always pretend to be the devil's advocate. So I'd be a demon in a business suit.
Or you'd be an incubus.
Yeah, an incubus.
I'm sticking with the peacoat. Peacoat is me.
Actually,
I'm sticking
guys,
with my pullover.
you guys got nothing on my red button up, which it's actually a shirt on its own, but it's like in such a way I feel I could wear a white shirt.
You look like a
underneath.
'60s dad in that shirt, to be honest.
No,
Hey.
you don't. I don't know anybody who buttons their top button other than a fucking hipster, dude.
Oh my god,
I-
you look like
I do
that. You look like that uncle that you don't invite to Thanksgiving.
It's better than JJ's profile picture where he looks like he's wearing lipstick in it.
I don't see it. I really don't.
There's something,
That lip
you
blast
choose
was
not to
awesome.
see
JJ, that picture
You
right
choose
there.
not to see it, JJ.
Yo, S-Man, with that picture right there of JJ, all you have to do, switch it out with a plaid shirt, he'll look like a butch lesbian.
Well, I do like the women, and I am very dominant.
Hey guys, by the way, speaking of Jocelyn, I do not know if you guys want to review my script that I have so far for the video with me.
Actually, yeah, sure. DM it to me, and I'll look it over.
Well, I was kind of wanting to read
Give
it,
it to me.
and I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I
down.
have, I have it written down in my phone memos, so I do not know if I would actually be able to message it. I mean, probably be a little bit tedious, but say go ahead and read it.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Read
So-
it in the dark conservatarian voice.
All
Wait,
right.
what's up,
I mean,
guys?
I need my sound. I need my voice filter now.
And,
But anyway.
and don't-
welcome, guys.
he looks like a
Jocelyn Drama Review.
Oh my god.
God, I knew I heard a Sonic fan.
I thought I heard Satan for a second.
I'm summoning
Brandon Patchett on you, JJ Skinner.
Okay, now you sound like a
Wait.
tryhard.
No,
Can you,
who he sounds like? This.
I have a
I'll get you,
request.
Gadget, next time.
Before you even read that script, can you
You sound like Dr. Claw.
can you say bite the pillow, I'm going in dry?
Get your Johnson, man.
Bite the pillow, I'm coming in dry.
Yeah, if it was like dark in my room and I heard that, I'd scream.
Pleasure?
I'll have to critique Dark's picture. You look like Gargamel's gay brother.
What, me?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. I prefer the metrosexual Riddler. But anyway, hey, S-Man, you stop muting JJ, all right?
I'm not muting JJ, you racist.
Fuck off! He gives us all a fucking time. Every single damn time. Mute somebody and he claims he doesn't. But anyway, the title.
What? S-Man Dark JJ, why don't you roast my picture right now?
It looks like two tomboys are gonna go at it, if you know what I mean.
Anyway, the title of the video is going to be something along the lines of betrayal in parentheses, the Jocelyn drama review. I'm not even going to mention what.
I just call it Jossogate because it sounds funnier.
Jossogate, yeah, I should call it that. Betrayal, the Jossogate scandal.
Fuck
anyway,
yeah.
But anyway, I guess I'll work on the title in a bit. Conundrum says inside Josso-bait. Anyway, so it opens up with a video clip of Jocelyn saying in that one live stream of his, saying, yeah, the Dark Conservatarian is a pretty nice YouTuber that you should all subscribe to. And then it cuts to me just at my desk, like live action, saying, I don't want to be called nice by you ever again, Jocelyn. Considering the fact that you consider
whoa,
what the fuck? Brandon! You motherfucker. Anyway.
Go ahead.
Starting over. I don't want to be called nice by you ever again, Jocelyn. Because considering the fact that you consider internet dick stinks like KeeperCast as nice, it's apparent you and I have very different definitions of nice. No matter though, you won't be considering me nice after this video, because seriously, you done fucked up, Jocelyn. As I do my Dark Con voice. Cue the Dark Conservatarian intro, it plays, and so we move on. Dark Con here, and man, am I pissed. So pissed that this was one of the reasons why I stopped my semi-hiatus. Also for the sake of informing those who know little to nothing about this whole shebang. This is a video that is going to go into detail of the drama surrounding the lies and betrayal of someone we once thought to be one of the most innocent and harmless people amongst us, who just turned out to be a serpent in sheep's clothing. Jocelyn. So my channel has gone a long way. Most thanks to S-Man Speaks, Loudmouth Reviews, and Bearing to a huge extent, but to a smaller extent, another person that goes by the name of Jocelyn also helped to grow my channel as well when my channel was smaller than his. Over this time of chilling with him on live streams, I became friends with him even long after I had outgrown him. So imagine my hurt when all this went down. First, let's start from the beginning. A lot of this centers around KeeperCast, a group of internet-edgy frat boys who have had a tendency to tease, manipulate, and even bully Jocelyn. More on that in a minute. I first known of KeeperCast when I watched one of Josso's live streams that he called Random Discussions Podcast number 4. Right before starting this live stream, he told us on the Poor Bastards private Twitter chat group that there was a group of friends of his who bullied and manipulated him to the point that he wanted to disconnect from them. This said group was KeeperCast. Going off of the information that he told us, we of course encouraged him to disconnect from them as well, only because we cared about his well-being. Ultimately, the decision is his, of course, but friends can still give advice on what kind of people can make good friends, right? So ultimately, He disconnects from them right before starting earlier mentioned stream, and all seemed to be going well until it seemed like the entire Keeper cast gone invading the live chat, harassing him about his decision, asking him if they could have an invite onto the stream to talk about this. One of them, that goes by the name of Tom Ventura, even threatened him by saying, quote, "We have your address, Josh," unquote. By the looks of it, this looks like a doxing threat, or it could have been a threat to mail to him rattlesnakes, as Josso will mention later on. Cue the clip of him explaining that. However you interpret it, this was an obvious threat towards Josso. I have no evidence to say what exactly KeeperCast would have done with this bit of information, but I highly doubt that this was sarcasm or an empty threat. Know why? Because the KeeperCast ringleader known as Topher made a similar threat in a later stream. Play that clip, and that was like the Josso call-in show. You know which one I'm talking about, Conundrum. It was the one that you joined.
Yeah.
And so I say, holy shit, what a beta bitch, after Adjustment kind of rolls over for Topher's threat. Rewinding back to Random Discussions podcast 4, I finally get an invite onto the stream where a shout fest ensued between KeeperCast and Josso and his friends. On that very stream, Topher revealed a side of Josso that I wish I never heard about as I was listening to this stream live. Topher was accusing him of being a pathological liar, of how he would constantly go back on his word on eating healthy to help lose weight, how he was stretching the truth or even outright lying about what KeeperCast would do to him, etc. As this was going down, Josso exploded with an anger that I had never seen from him before and probably will never see again. Now, it would show footage of all this, except not only did Josso delete his own channel, he also deleted the stream right after he gone off air. I'll probably just not say that and put it in like parentheses or something as text up on the screen. I tried asking in the chat about what the fuck was with the borderline threat to dox from Tom, but got no answer from anyone. There was also information omitted by Topher about some personal family drama Jocelyn has that I can't exactly remember the details to, and even if I did, I wouldn't omit those details myself out of courtesy of Josso's family. This video is about Jocelyn and the drama surrounding him, nothing else. As soon as they were off air, Brandon and Josso had a little heart-to-heart about what all just went down. Later, I was invited on, and I gave my 2 cents on what I thought of the circumstance and what Josso should do. I turned down the idea of me and him doing a collab response video until the KeeperCast drama was all resolved. I told him how I didn't know for sure if I should trust him on all the shit he's talking about KeeperCast, so because of all this, I just remained overall neutral-minded towards KeeperCast and whether or not Josso should disown them. After that, it seemed like that bit of drama was resolved. I didn't even give a second thought to the idea that Josso had on KeeperCast in one of his call-in episodes of Josso Lives as I was watching it live. Play a clip of him noticing me in the chat, in the live chat. In fact, I don't think anyone paid a second thought to it, especially Conundrum, who was on stream with them shit-talking and not getting angry towards anyone. I thought that everything was cool and still remained friends with Josso. Although, as soon as KeeperCast did join, I couldn't help but leave because Topher has such a nauseatingly douchey voice that it literally makes me want to vomit. And I play a compilation clip of him saying disgusting things in his disgusting voice with Brian Griffin puking at the same time. You guys seen that clip, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Everything seemed cool until play the clip of Owen being called the N-word by Topher. It was only the calm before the storm. Josso let himself get manipulated by Topher yet again and just left his debate with Owen to have another shit talk fest with KeeperCast. He got dared by him to call Owen a nigger, and just like Owen did last time with him, see this video for that story, as I put a screen cap of my past video talking about that controversy, tweeted screen caps of Josso doing so on private DMs. What I think of this instance alone is that Owen shouldn't have shared screen caps of private DMs. I don't think anyone should unless if you're exposing somebody's criminal activity or conspiring to conduct criminal activity like pedophilia or doxing, which, by the way, Owen, some honky uttering the N-word is not a crime even if it's at some black guy. And I show a picture of Derek, some black guy, black man, for a little joke. Everything that ensued afterward is a major shitstorm. Despite Josso apologizing, Owen still shares screen caps of it. Josso takes back his apology. Google It gets involved by making videos and rating one of my Let's Play Spore streams to make it a serious one about Josso's controversy. Although, to be fair, I was first to ask if she was serious about her video accusing Josso of racism, because I can't tell when she's being serious or just trolling. Soon after this, Lapis, otherwise known as the effeminate degenerate, puts her credibility on the line to stream with Jocelyn and to try to talk him out of KeeperCast and into making amends with Owen, as he was also sharing his testimony of how bad KeeperCast is. Play the clip of Jocelyn bringing forth his testimony. We thought that he was done with KeeperCast for good this time, but we were wrong. A few days later, Jocelyn shares a link in the Poor Bastards private Twitter chat group to one of KeeperCast's streams, saying of how he supposedly wants to resolve this and make peace between KeeperCast and the Poor Bastards. At one moment, Brandon and Conundrum joins that stream, but don't stay for long. We tried reminding him of how bad he kept saying KeeperCast was, and that he told us he was going to disconnect from them. But no, he was insistent to go back on his own word, and we felt like he was betraying our trust in him. And what probably caused us to be pissed off even more was that he kept nagging us to join KeeperCast despite most of us refusing. He even told me by name that they wanted me to join. I was having none of it. From all the pressure we kept putting on him to not go back on his own word, he decided he couldn't take it anymore and just left the group chat. Afterwards, a Twitter fight breaks out between Jocelyn and members of the Poor Bastards, where he kept flip-flopping and flipping again on disconnecting from KeeperCast, as I guess he was starting to regret his decision of betraying our trust, or at least being so outward about it anyways. But at the same time, for some reason, still wanted to be friends, quote-unquote, with the KeeperCast gang. We also had ourselves an off-air Google Hangout to discuss the new revelations we were just getting about Josso. Conundrum brought his testimony during that hangout, telling of how he witnessed Josso being bribed by KeeperCast to masturbate to Barbara Bush. Keep in mind that this was around her death. Brandon also told of how as soon as he joined Brandon also told of how as soon as he joined, they were just being loud and obnoxious assholes with him. It's from that moment on that we decided the backstabbing, untrustworthy snake Jocelyn was not joining back in the Poor Bastards. The next day, S-Man starts his own hangout stream where Jocelyn decides to troll us a bunch of bullshit and the most crackpot of crackpot logic you will ever hear in your life to try and justify his manipulation and lies, and he gets the shit roasted out of him. And that's where I play the Thug Life of the Millennium video that you made, S-Man.
Yes.
Going towards the end of it, Jocelyn acts again like he wants to disconnect from them. Play clips of Jocelyn saying so, or at least of us reading his live chat messages. S-Man offers him up on a stream to talk about this again, and then I think you said that in that same stream, S-Man, that you were going to offer him up on a debate, and I'll play that clip as well. What was titled originally... What?
I only offered the debate after that I was done talking. I only offered that debate stream. That was where we were going to talk it out, and then after that, I was just done with the guy.
Ah, I see. What was titled originally as a debate stream turned into more of a cordial discussion. This attempt to bring a friend back to sanity would be remembered as the last strike. As soon after, S-Man was tagged this screen cap by somebody whom I suppose is part of KeeperCast himself. And I share that one screen cap that you were shared where Jocelyn was talking to KeeperCast, S-Man. Apparently, Jocelyn was playing both sides. He deceivingly only made it look like he had blocked KeeperCast for good, only so he could try and mend his ties with the Poor Bastards. Then unblocks them so he could try and still be friends with them. But by then, it was too late. As not only had S-Man said in the group chat assuredly that Jocelyn was never being welcomed back in the Poor Bastards, he also got disconnected from KeeperCast. Or at least that's what I last heard about the relationship between Jocelyn and KeeperCast. Before seeing this screenshot, I only thought Jocelyn was being a schizophrenic, easily manipulated, pathologically lying tool for KeeperCast. But after seeing this, I knew that Jocelyn was being a big-time manipulator himself. So there might be a slight possibility that the KeeperCast is not the group of psychopaths that Jocelyn was often putting them out to be. In fact, I hate to say this, but Topher was right in what he said in RDP4. Jocelyn is a pathological liar. Taking that into consideration, none of us can know for absolute certain that they're truly horrible people. Even if they aren't, we still don't want anything to do with Jocelyn because he has proven himself to be a completely untrustworthy, therefore a terrible friend, which is basically not a friend at all. even without Josso, Samir, and KeeperCast, I personally still don't want anything to do with them, and I don't think any of the poor bastards do either. They seem rather A-substance. They acted like complete assholes with us repeatedly at multiple times. They still have yet to answer for their threats, or at least borderline threats of doxing, and above all, ignoring Jocelyn's words about them and just looking at what I've seen. KeeperCast's gang lord Topher is a manipulative jack-off with a punching bag of a face and a douchey-ass voice that would make a person want to shoot themselves if they heard him speak. Jocelyn, why did you think you had to make this whole mess? Was it to try and get the poor bastards in KeeperCast together to form an even bigger community of YouTubers? Did you really think that we would like them and all be buddies? Is there some other drama that none of us even know about and you thought this was the solution to all of it? Was there some ulterior motive? If you really wanted us to be friends with them, well, talking psychopathic shit about them is not the way to unite people. Just be straight about it. Even Topher thinks you weren't exactly being straight towards introducing the two groups together. As I play another clip of Topher. That's all I got so far, you guys. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I thought that was
Pretty damn good.
I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
My audio is still messed up.
it's fine. But
I'm not hearing in
Mjolnir
the background. Or hearing myself in the background, I mean.
Because when me and Mjolnir Man were talking in the messages, he was telling me about Jocelyn messing up, like shitting on those beats. And then the next thing you said was just so goddamn funny. I was laughing for 5 minutes. Like you just wrecked him so hard.
Who?
You anally raped him.
Oh, you mean me? Oh, what I said the chair?
No, not that. I was talking to Mjolnir Man about what he said about
Oh,
Jocelyn.
okay.
Oh, when I started talking money and this broke ass ran.
Well, you said you always had and I quote from you, you said you had a bitch ass pussy nigga vibe from him.
Oh yeah.
That's pussy, nigga.
But the main reason why I kind of wanted to read that script to you guys was so I could to see if you guys thought it was accurate in the information that I was bringing forth.
Oh, it was extremely accurate.
Yeah.
As someone who's more like, I guess not active during that time, it does paint a pretty good picture. So like, it helped me understand more than like most explanations I've seen.
All right.
I do have one thing to say. Josso, the group chase, he doesn't even talk in it anymore. He doesn't even show up. That there was a member of KeeperCast who's still in there, so he hasn't completely disconnected from them.
Could you, be funny? Because we tried to a few days ago for the shits and giggles. Brandon added me to the group, and I blocked one of Jocelyn's accounts. And then someone blocked me, so I got booted from the... Part of me wanted to just go in there and just start banning people just to get them out of the chat as a joke. I should have got two of Josso's accounts and any KeeperCast member, or just everybody, just to get them all out of that chat. Just to be a dick, and also because it'd be funny. I did kick Josso, from my Discord, because I was about to send the link and I realized he's still in there, so I booted him because I didn't want him to send it to his master, to his peg boy. So I just wanted to take no risks, and basically, I know I say this a lot, but you have to acknowledge how true it is. He cannot spell his last name without the L, and he has had nothing but L's the entire time. Like,
yeah.
When it comes to weeding out the retards of our chat, it's been W's all the way. When it comes to the retards that were in the chat, it just straight line of L's.
All right.
Sorry about that. I had to wait for a sec, but yeah.
Well, it makes me think, right? Like, I'm like trying to dig into this deeper. What dirt they got on Jazzo, man? Because it sounds like this whole time he's been kind of getting blackmailed a little bit. Right?
Well, I think it was.
At least that's what he claims.
Yeah, because
what's so embarrassing they have on him or detrimental?
By black, do you mean being shot indiscriminately by cops?
He poured piss on himself on stream.
He poured piss on himself. He sent them dick pics. He masturbated to the deaths of Stephen Hawking and Barbara Bush. If anything, if I were to have been that fucking stupid, I would do whatever it takes not to get that leaked.
By the
Oh,
way,
fucking hell, I hear.
So the narrative is he sent someone dick pics and they have them now.
He sent it to them.
Pretty much.
He sent it to them.
I don't know about that.
From what he
I
said.
could see like the doxing, they have his address, but like it's not even like he's like that prominent of a figure on YouTube. So like, who's gonna take time another day except for Keeper Cast?
Oh no, probably not.
Yeah, like basically, Humane didn't hear Zach's script that Zach wrote for this whole thing, but basically it was rather interesting to listen over. But yeah, it was from what Jocelyn had said, and basically, if he would have either just not, or had he just not flip-flopped, this whole thing wouldn't have been the disaster that it was. Like, you know, it wouldn't have been as bad as the time when Ham called Owen the N-word caps of it publicly, which I'm not gonna lie, I still fucking laugh at. Yeah.
By the way, whoever it was that got the screenshot of him pouring piss on himself, send me it through DMs. Wasn't it you, Conundrum?
Yeah, I do have it.
Yeah, send it to me as well. I want to see this shit personally.
Same here.
Wait,
And I want to feature it on my video.
JJ, correct me if I'm wrong though. Didn't you say like you live in the same area as Josso, man?
I live in the same town.
Oh Jesus, man.
Yeah, it's the same
How
school
do
as
you know
him.
it was actually urine?
Not Mountain Dew.
Oh no, it was piss.
Yeah, you could tell.
I mean,
You can tell.
I've not
yeah,
seen
the color and how it looked.
Yeah.
I've
Now
not
where
seen
it
the
is.
clip. I don't
There's
want
a
to see it.
video.
I've
The
seen it.
video I made where I'm drinking a liquid looks like piss, and that's actually the joke I'm making. Is it's sterile, and I like the taste. It's apple
Oh,
cider
good
vinegar.
God.
It's apple cider vinegar, which is something you can drink. It tastes like it. It's very
It's
very
terrible.
I actually use that.
But it
when I
is
got
edible.
nose
It
problems.
is edible, and it's not urine. Although it doesn't. Maybe the taste isn't that quite different from urine, but
Whether it is true or not that Jocelyn was manipulated by Keeper Cast to pour urine on himself is kind of irrelevant because there's already enough footage of Topher being a manipulative asshole towards him and everyone else around him to for him to pretty much be the type of person that nobody should want to associate with.
Yeah, Google its video on Jocelyn, her response video. I'm not gonna lie, it was hilarious. Especially when she just zooms in on his face repeatedly. Like, you can just see the fat just seeping into your soul when you look at him for such a long period of time. it's a rather traumatizing sight. Like, you just see it, and your eyes, you just notice that the what's that called for your eyes? Like, it depletes over time as you get older. What is it called? Well, something depletes your eyes as it gets older.
Pupils.
Retinas or pupils or something. Yeah, something.
Oh,
some
glaucoma? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you get that very fast when you see him. You just go. You see it and you're just like, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Another question that I have for you guys, like as far as questions for my interview with Frederick Voltaire tomorrow, like the questions I have written down so far is asking him about his legal position on women and all people in general voting. Systems of government, if we'll ever get into that subject, probably won't, but still. Authoritarianism in general, freedom of speech, LGBT rights, and talking about it's okay to hate LGBT people. Maybe I will ask that, but I'm not so enthusiastic about it because
that's not what he said. So saying it's okay to hate them, that is a statement I would agree with. I mean, it's not a desirable thing, but it's not something that should be legally punished. He said that they deserve to be hated. That is a completely different context, right? It's instead of saying,
let me see the screen cap again.
Saying it's okay is a more neutral position. Saying they deserve it is kind of an aggressive position, right? It's not defensive. Defensive is like, oh, there's no reason to ever hate somebody from the LGBT. That's what I was trying to argue against, because that seemed to be the defense everybody was coming to, was like, there's no reason to ever hate anybody. I'm like, wait a minute,
if I may take a moment, the screen cap says, and I quote, "But it's okay to hate LGBT people or their culture," unquote.
Well, I would say that if you hate somebody who happens, like, I just want to point this out. If Zach was gay, but I hated his guts, you know, it's okay to hate a person, but if you hate them for their identity, like if they're gay or something, like you're homophobic, like you hate them because they're gay, that is a stupid reason to hate them. Yes. I'd rather hate someone for being, like, I'd rather hate, you know, I don't hate Jossman, but I find him annoying now. Like, I'd rather hate the guy for the fact that he's a waste of time. I don't hate the guy because he's bisexual. Like, you know, like that was basically, you know, when you say it's okay to hate them, it's like he lacked the context. Like, why do you hate them? You know,
but he tried to offer that, and you guys, you know, proceeded to cry and wail and say no, that there's suicides and things like that. And I was like, okay, I'm not in agreement with Voltaire. I don't think that you need to hate somebody because of their sexuality. I don't think that just seems a stupid and arbitrary reason. But by that same token, it's also stupid to say they commit suicide, therefore people who are saying things about them are contributing to that. And I'm like, that's illogical.
Okay, so let me open up with saying that the reason why I wanted specifically to invite Humane Mind onto the stream is because I kind of wanted to talk about his comments within the Poor Bastards, because honestly, I did not like the idea of everybody just arbitrarily kicking you out of the Poor Bastards. To be quite honest, I kind of wanted
to left of my own accord.
Well, yeah, I know, but they were still coming. They were still like coming up to that decision. Like they were all like, "Hey, let's put it to a vote. Shall we boot out Humane Mind?" And despite all of the flaws that I might agree with other people in the Poor Bastards that you have, I do honestly like you, Humane.
And other here's people the thing: I did not vote on that poll.
I think honestly, I think that you are anything but Humane. You might have your dumb moments, but that's pretty much everyone. I don't even think that really Cult of Ham is an utter idiot. He definitely has his stupid moments, but cannot call him with intellectual honesty that he is a complete and utter moron. But yeah, that's the reason why I wanted Humane Mind on to hash this out. So go on. Yes, man. You just want to say something?
Okay, yeah. Like just for the record, I did not vote whether to ban you or to keep you in. I just saw the poll and I'm like, he's gonna see it and he's gonna be like, you know what, I can see that I'm not welcome here. And I saw that his message and I'm like, I could tell. So voting on it was just gonna be a waste of time.
By the time you voted I was already gone.
Yeah.
So whatever. I didn't realize there was a vote until you guys told me just now. Because
there was a poll. Yeah, there was a Twitter poll, and I was like, I just see the options, and I'm like, he's gonna if he sees the poll or he sees that people are making a poll, he's gonna be like, yeah, screw this, I'm out of here. Now,
the reason I said screw this, I'm out of here was precisely because what I saw was people making arguments from emotion repeatedly, and then I tried to I wasn't disagreeing with the ideas or the principles involved. I was disagreeing with how the arguments were stated, and like, these are not valid arguments. I'm not trying to teach you what to think. I'm trying to teach you how to think, or at least how to express those thoughts. Because what I was seeing was like, this is the whinings of like 12-year-olds. This is, people who are, they're emotionally immature and lashing out with emotions and making these points and I'm like, all you guys keep doing is using my personal experience, anecdotal evidence. And like, that's not an argument. That's not a reason. This is something, a point I made in the chat. It's like, if suicide is a reason not to hate somebody, then no one should ever hate Nazis, because hating Nazis caused Hitler to kill himself. That's this idea of, suicide causes people to, or hating someone causes them to kill themselves. Therefore, you shouldn't.
I think that's a total straw man right there, because the point is, if somebody's a really horrible person and they end up committing suicide, I don't think anyone's really going to give a shit about that. You said more than that. You said that if somebody attempts suicide and fails, they're crying for help but won't actually do it. That is absolutely wrong.
I didn't say attempted and failed. I said if they attempted.
Hey, let's take this one at a time, guys.
There are numerous times people have attempted suicide multiple times, all right, and then gone through with it for real, all right? That has happened many, many times. It's documented that it has happened.
And if I may
so
add,
it's not true.
And if I may add,
that every suicide attempt that doesn't succeed is just a cry for help and nothing more.
That's not what I said.
I may add my 2 cents on the psychology of this whole thing. I mean, we do not know for sure if a person is really just doing it for a cry for help, or if they were being legit about it and they really did want to kill themselves. But at the same time, if a person really did want to kill himself but they don't go through with it, they could vastly want to kill himself, but at the same time, their desire to live still outweighs their desire to kill themselves.
Yeah,
they're just not brave enough to do it, and their desire to die would still be there. Just it's overwhelmed by either their cowardliness to kill themselves, or that's the wrong word to use, but screw it, or they have a bigger desire to live than to die. Go ahead.
Well, that right there, if they actually said, I want to kill myself, but they're too scared to do it, that delegitimizes their oh, I want to die. Because if you actually wanted to die, there would be no fear. There would be no regret or hesitation. That's the point that I'm making. The people who have that actually want, or I guess maybe that's a bad way of phrasing it, that actually want to commit suicide, but that I don't know of a better way of articulating that. Because, like I said, I know 3 people very close to me have committed suicide, and not one of them gave any indication that they were going to do that. There was no depression. There was nothing was out of the normal. There were no signs to look forward to. Because, like I said, in the military, there was training after training talking about suicide prevention, because suicide is 25 times or 24 or 25 times the normal rate in the military, right? If you take the regular population, the military is 25% times more likely to have a suicide. That's a pretty large number. They go take us through training, the things you look for. It's depression, a complete change in personality, giving away their goods, or talking about, getting rid of things, or making plans that are out of their normal behavior. Right. So this is one of the things that they talk about, is giving away property, and well, that's because they're not going to use it. And the person getting it is oh, they're just doing something nice. It's no, they realize that they're not going to have any need for anything. They've got this deterministic mindset. But the people who I know I knew who had gone through with it, none of these warning signs were there. None of these indications were there, because they had made up in their mind that they were going to do with it. And if they gave off these little hints, if they made it appear that their behavior was changing, someone would stop them.
Okay, so I have a question. If, say, a person did say that they wanted to die, but ultimately they did not go with it, does that mean that in your opinion, that they did not want to die at all, or there was still a little bit of a desire to die? So
this is something I brought up, and I'm going to draw this back to economics, because this is where I first heard this example. So there's 2 economists standing outside of an ice cream shop. One says to the other, I really want ice cream. The other one looks back at the first guy, looks at the shop, waits a couple seconds, says, oh, you clearly don't. And they both say, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. And they walk away. If he had wanted ice cream, he would have gone in and gotten ice cream. That's the point of the joke. If you want to do something, you'll go do it. That's how you show what your intent is.
But you're only saying you go to 11 minutes in your personal life.
Wait.
This is ice cream, though. We're talking about your own life.
Yeah, the thing is,
to do what you say you want to do, you would do it.
Yeah, but at the other time, there's other people in your life. Maybe people are living for other people.
Then if they're living for someone else, then you're not. Then you don't want to kill yourself because you have a reason to not.
Between suicidal thoughts and suicide.
Yes. That's I think that a huge emphasis that I'm trying, or at least the the nuance I'm trying to add here, although maybe ineffectively.
The thing is, I think it's a little bit of a false equivalency because with suicide, it requires a greater amount of willpower than to be buying some ice cream.
No, it's talking about the desire to do something. You don't. If the desire is there, you will do it. If the desire to rape someone is there, people do rape. That's why, hey, they're a rapist because they had the desire to do it. It's not like, hey, I really want to rape, and then you don't do. You are making this analogy as if someone can want to do something, and you can say, oh, this person definitely wants to do that. If they never take any action, if they never make one step towards that goal, how can you say they really want to do that thing?
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's lots of women I'd like to fuck, but probably never will. So, you know.
Yeah.
People have conflicting desires as well, Humane. I mean, a person can say that they want to die, but also they don't really want to die at the same time, but we'll never know what truly goes on in their head.
Which is why you have to observe their actions. If their actions are not the actions of someone who is trying to fulfill that goal, then that goal is not their real goal.
Well, would you say there's like a subconscious element? Like maybe there's like a deeper part of the subconscious that prevents one from committing suicide. So maybe there's why there's so many failed suicides.
Which is why I'm saying the people who attempt suicide or make it obvious, they do these grand gestures that they're going to commit suicide. They broadcast it to the world. That is their subconscious saying, no, wait, I don't actually want to do this. Somebody stop me. Somebody stop me. I don't want to go through with this.
So the person who wants to commit suicide doesn't even know for certain whether or not he actually does want to commit suicide.
I will
Yeah.
give Humane credit though, because my best friend, one of my old best friends, I don't fuck with him anymore, but he was one to claim he was suicidal and had suicidal thoughts. Now he's self-harmed, and then he made a couple posts about threatening to hang himself. But then I also knew someone in high school who you would have never thought and blasted his dome off right in front of the police department. There was no signs.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is there's the people who they may think they want to kill themselves, but if they wanted to do it, they would just take the action because it's somebody who's going to end their life. What do they care what anybody else thinks? What do they care what they don't, they're not broadcasting it to anybody. They just do whatever because they have no obligation to anyone else at that point. Mm-hmm. They're going to be dead, and they're not going to impact anything else. Nobody's going to have any impact on them.
Yeah.
Why does it matter?
Okay. I also want to.
What if the person is a monster, and the one person didn't know about what they've done, and all of a sudden it gets revealed, destroying their life, and they don't want to do that pain to another person. So
wait. Let me get this straight. So let me use this analogy, right? So if someone realizes that they're a pedo or they're attracted to kids and they off themselves, then I see no problem with them doing that.
Yeah, but again, they don't attempt. They don't make the attempt, right? It's not they found out I'm a pedophile. My life is ruined. I have no future. Here, let me make an attempt. They may make an attempt and be stopped by cops. Like that, somebody has to stop them by force or something along those lines. But if they make the attempt, so it depends. I guess maybe the problem here is an unclear definition on attempt. There's some people who attempt and fail, as in they did everything they could have, and like maybe in the case where they slashed their wrist and they didn't go across, but they went down, not across the street, but down the road. Right? Well, if they actually did that and they were planning entirely to bleed out and they thought they had the house to themselves or whatever, and by the time somebody got home, they would find them dead. Somebody came home early, they're like, oh no, and they managed to bind the wounds and take them to the hospital in time to save them. That is a suicide attempt, but that's not the same style of attempt that at least from what I was hearing, that these other people were describing their attempts.
Well, this person I know committed suicide. Actually blew his brains out.
Yes. So then that's not a cry for help. That's right.
Right.
Because they went through with it.
Do that damage the horrible damage he did to other people, to the person he cared about the most.
Yes, and that's like, okay, that's somebody who followed through on it, and that's exactly the type of behavior you would expect from someone who's like, oh, I've done something terrible, or my life is ruined, it's time to end it. You would expect them to take those drastic measures. But the people who fall into this attempted suicide, most of the time, they take measures where you're like, really, that's your attempted suicide?
Believe me.
It's a half-assed attempt, or it's one where they broadcast it to the world. Like, oh, I'm going now, guys. Make sure that somebody better stop me, otherwise you're never going to see me again. That's the type of attempt that was being described in the chat, at least from my perspective. Maybe I am way off base on that, but I know that sort of behavior. I've seen it not only in others, but granted, I've seen that in myself when I was younger. So the people who claim, oh, I made a suicide attempt, and then I'm reading like you tried to hang yourself. It's very, very difficult to hang yourself, first of all, but it's also, there's so many ways that can go wrong, like where you could injure yourself but not kill yourself. It's like hanging.
It's a painful way to die.
It's a painful way to die, and also, if done incorrectly, you're just gonna injure yourself real bad and not achieve the desired goal. It's a very ineffective way of doing it. Which is why, like, when they actually had hangings, like back in the day when they did them publicly, there was a good 5-6 foot drop, not like stepping off of a chair or whatever. It was a drop.
I was hoping that it would break your neck so you die instantly. Whereas
otherwise you would sit there and strangle.
That was a painful way to die.
Yeah. Otherwise you'd be strangled there for, well, depending on how tight the rope was and how heavy you were, several minutes, maybe half an hour. Where
I don't think half an hour, but a few minutes. Yeah.
Well, because especially if you don't have your hands tied behind your back, you can definitely.
I guess I can see there. Yeah.
Your natural reaction.
You're not going to last more than a couple minutes.
Your natural reaction is to save yourself. You may want something, but if you get in that situation and your hands aren't tied, you have ways of getting out. You'll find a way out, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I failed." No, if you wanted to do it, you would do like what people who have gone through with it do. The vast majority of them use guns because it's pretty effective. I don't have the statistics, but the number of people who attempted suicide with a gun, pretty small. Like so small, it's not worth mentioning. Like, oh, I attempted to commit suicide with a gun and I survived the brain damage. Is that really a thing that's a common occurrence?
Or they just ended up shooting themselves in the cheek and ear and turning themselves into looking like a vegetable, but they're still alive.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's majority, like the vast number of gun deaths in the United States are suicides. So the amount of people who shoot themselves and fail,
that wouldn't count in gun deaths though. That would count in gun injuries.
People who attempt.
I mean, failed attempts.
But there are several thousands of people who commit suicide a year using guns.
And you have to know, back then, before gun deaths, people used to jump off bridges.
Yes, because hey, if you want, that's a jump off a bridge or jump off a high building, like right during the during the stock market crash.
Oh yeah,
that was and even in China recently, that was so common they had to put safety nets around the building. Those people weren't making the attempts and cries for help. Otherwise, that's not a cry for help if you're jumping off of a building, right? That's like, okay, his goal was clear. Definitely the intent to end their own life. Whereas the goal with these people who claim, oh, I was suicidal and I did this, and I'm like, but that's not going to guarantee your goal. like if it's a 50-50 chance, how seriously are you taking that goal, right? If it's something, or even if it's 60-40, or if it's something that you're sure of, that you're dead set on doing, and you're going to give yourself like, oh, I got a 40% chance of failing at this. That's, I mean, maybe it's they're not that bright. That could be the factor, and maybe that's what I'm overlooking here. But if you actually wanted that to be your goal, you wouldn't settle with a half-assed way of doing it. You'd be like, okay, there's definitely a sure way of doing this. Lots of other people have figured it out.
And the other
I really wanted to do
kill
this.
themselves with a toaster in the bathtub.
Yeah, which is why GFI GFI is that the acronym?
Yeah, there was that old joke by Roddy Dangerfield. He said, "I know my parents hated me as a kid. My bath toys were a toaster oven and a radio."
Yeah, and that's why all the bathroom outlets are now. They got their own circuit breakers on them because people were doing that and killing themselves.
Yes.
Sometimes unintentionally, but a lot of times it was intentional. So,
or stand in front of a speeding train.
Yes. There's lots of suicides that are just, hey, somebody's walking across the highway. That's also another common way of suicide.
You would believe in Canada, the suicide at Niagara, that people used to jump into Niagara Falls for suicide attempts. For actual suicides.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an attempt at that point, right? Yeah. So that was the point I'm making, is the degree of effort put into it points out that it's being a cry for help. They want someone to stop them, or they don't want to guarantee a success. Because there's lots of, relatively easy ways to guarantee a success if someone is actually if someone has deemed that suicide is the only answer. If someone has that mindset, they're not going to do something that has a chance of backfiring or has a chance of not succeeding, or at least.
And the thing is with suicide, as I always call it, it's a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Yep.
That depends on yeah. That's what I've heard too, and I've repeated that, but sometimes it's a permanent solution for a permanent problem. But like, because we were just mentioning, like, okay, so if someone is a pedophile and they are found out and their life is over,
well, life itself is,
in the case of the
problem, no matter what, everyone dies.
School shooters shoot themselves. That's a permanent solution to a permanent problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the point for the majority of people who do it, it's usually something minor that they could have gotten over, or it's a large number of them are financial difficulties, which is the saddest. Yeah, it's like, because you're like, that is definitely a temporary problem. Financial difficulties is something that can be overcome. It may look impossible at the time, but the rest of the family survived and got through.
We had a famous suicide case a while ago with a guy who was a serial killer, got arrested, and then he was found hung in his jail cell.
Yeah, I would say that's a permanent solution to a permanent problem, not a temporary problem. But for the majority of people who commit suicide, it is a temporary problem.
I think you were talking about Aaron Hernandez.
No, I'm talking about the German guy.
So
I don't really have an issue with okay. So the way that this all got started is that you started responding to the whole bit of drama that ensued with Voltaire.
Yes.
Like, it was just one drama that came right after another drama. And honestly, I was all like, what the fuck, with the attitude that people were having towards Voltaire myself. I mean, I wasn't entirely sold on it, but as soon as somebody showed me the screen caps of him saying it's okay to hate LGBT people, and note, by the way, I don't think it's okay to hate anyone at all, but that's another issue. But as soon as I saw that, I was all like, I'm just going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt. Fuck it. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to ask him to clarify his position in a live stream at some later point. But I think one of my issues was the way that you were handling it, the way that you were responding and communicating to Freaky Faith Reads, for example. Because as far as I know, Freaky Faith Reads is one of the more innocent people of the poor bastards.
That is the thing of all the most of the shit that went on there. I honestly give a shit about, but for me personally, the way you talk to Faith, it really pissed me off. I will be honest.
Yeah, I don't think the suicide thing was really what pissed me off. It was how you said it. Shit.
I think that's because a lot of the...
I think you owe Faith an apology for the way you talked to her.
Sorry about
I
that.
don't think so.
Leave out a phone call. Sorry about that.
I think there's a lot being missed because it's text directly as opposed to an actual conversation. So there's a lot of things that are missed. The intention, the tone, the body language. I was not trying to be mean to anyone. I was trying to tell them, you guys are all inconsistent. Anybody who's on the Poor Bastards podcast or Poor Bastards chat or whatever that claims to be a Christian and holds the values that you guys continually espouse, those two ideas are opposing. What Faith was saying was certain things about her faith, and I'm like, but you can't, if you are actually a believer in that faith, that's not a position you can hold. So you can't serve both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. But that seems to be the mentality going behind all of this.
I can see where he's coming from, though. There's like a lot of nuances in conversation that get lost in text. Oftentimes, I can't really pick up on sarcasm or humor in text personally. I don't know about
No. That's definitely a problem, and I get that all the fucking time regarding Facebook. Twitter, not as much. I mean, I seem to be a little bit thicker skinned with Twitter than with Facebook. It's kind of odd. Or at least I don't assume people are being snarky, condescending, arrogant, and smug in their words as often as I do with Facebook.
Twitter is usually like
and hostile
out though too. So
yeah, and so I do want to point out two of the things I said I thought were obviously jokes, but apparently not. Because the one where Voltaire had said something, and then she said he said I'm black, and then she responded and you're like, you can't say that. Well, if you say that, you can't say it, so just shut up. And I'm like, I thought that was an obvious joke. Apparently, right over everybody's head, because she was responding to his statement on free speech, which I did.
I was currently mad at the time, so when I get mad, I can't tell jokes very well.
The other thing, which should have also been an obvious joke, was the S-Man, where she said something about loving dick, and then S-Man responds as same, and then continued to respond with a bunch of like, oh, I'm getting backstabbed, or.
Okay, that one was definitely an obvious. That one was definitely an obvious joke that I could tell. I mean, the one regarding
I thought they were both obvious, but. Yeah, where he's like, oh, I can't believe there's something this racist in this chat. I thought I was being over exaggerating and absurd. So I've stated this before. I think Google is an actual troll. I don't think that they actually hold any of their beliefs. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Google. Yeah.
If that is a real person, that is a cartoon character in real life.
Yeah, I mean, I said it multiple times, but I kind of just given the benefit of the doubt at this point, but I said it multiple times where I think, and I literally do think that, wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Two people people left.
Yeah, Humane and Mjolnir left at the damn same time.
It's probably a glitch in Google. They probably didn't intend to.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, as I was saying, I mean, I said this before, and I literally do, in all humbleness, think that she looks just like a parody. I mean, she looks like a parody of leftists that some conservative made up. A parody of some caricature of how a conservative views leftists more than anything, than an
it's
actual.
Hard to take her serious sometimes, yeah.
Oh, so you're going to Poe's law logic.
What?
Poe's law.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's.
Yeah, I mean.
Law.
Yeah. So the Poe's law is that people are becoming so absurd it's impossible to tell the difference between an actual troll and someone who legitimately believes that. So yeah. Google it is a Poe, because if that's a true person, that's the most absurd person I think I've ever actually met. I mean, well, at least online. If it is a troll, it's a very dedicated troll that, yeah, because it's in order
Maybe
for
a little
someone to hold all of those incorrect views and all those incompatible views at the same time without. But see, actually, Voltaire kind of strikes me as a troll in that regard too. You got all these incompatible ideas that you espouse as your own. You're like, but those contradict each other. How can you actually? You can't believe all of those at the same time. That's what Google it strikes me as, and was like the only way that someone could go through life like that and not go completely insane or like and still be still interact with other people is if they don't actually believe everything that they're saying. That's
right.
I think she's a
Another.
character, but yeah.
Tested my mic caused my computer overheat right now. I'm trying to fix it.
All right.
Okay.
Best thing I can do actually is plug this in. And on. That's good.
I mean, I guess I would still ask that you somewhat work on your delivery, Humane. I mean, because this is it's sort of the same thing that I have with Voltaire, because I think he is very well read, in all honesty. But his communication is shit.
Yeah, so I do want to defend Voltaire when it comes. So I know you're going to talk to him tomorrow, but if you actually look at what he was saying about women's right to vote, I'm in agreement with that. But then I'm in agreement not just that we should get rid of it from women or take away women's right. And we talked about this on my podcast last week. It's not just women shouldn't get the vote. It's like, no, I think giving women universally the right to vote was a mistake, but that was a mistake on top of another mistake. The first mistake being giving men the universal suffrage. That was a mistake. It was a mistake to give universal suffrage to women, but that was a second mistake on top of giving men universal suffrage.
Had he said that, I think people would have understood that.
Yeah.
So
prior to that, it was only landowners and people of prominence in the community.
Is that your official legal voting position?
Yes, and I think I've stated this in the chat, is I think only people with something to lose should be able to vote.
So I'll have to clarify that with Voltaire, because that seems to be the biggest elephant in the room regarding him and his voting positions.
Yeah. So make sure you address that, whether he thinks if he thinks that all men should be given a right to vote and no women, then that's a stupid position to take.
Then it does become sexist.
Yes, then it's just discrimination just based on their gender. But on the good thing, or I guess on the bright side, you could just let them know that if women want the right to vote, they can just identify as men, and then they get the right to vote.
Yeah.
I think if that's what he meant, what you just said, if he would have said, I don't think anyone should have universal suffrage, had he said that instead of saying women, just women, maybe it would have came off a lot better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean,
the wording he was saying was
because context matters.
The context was he screwed the pooch on the context.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, people will probably obviously disagree with the idea. I mean, I don't know. I would have to look more into it whether I would actually officially agree with it or not. But it just becomes a more hostile topic when you make it more gender specific and sort of make it sound like that you are wanting to discriminate against the sexes when it comes to voting, or when you make it sound like that you want to discriminate against the races or whatever.
Yeah, because from experience, what I've learned through my, inherent disability, I guess you could say, my mom always tells me, you probably should have worded that a bit better, because sometimes I say something that people very dislike, but that's not what I entirely meant. I meant something completely different, and I end up wording it terribly.
Because take voting in race, for example. I mean, if somebody says that they are for if they are for voter ID, a person might ultimately take that as a racist.
Which is the soft bigotry of low expectations. Oh, someone's black, therefore they don't know how to get an ID. What?
And even when it comes to literacy tests, I mean, it might coincidentally affect black people more. And I might ultimately disagree with it myself, but in the ultimatum of things, it's not technically racist. But if you're to actually say in the papers that people of color are not allowed to vote, then it definitely becomes racist.
Yes. Because you're specifically, but when you say, "Oh, I want voter IDs," people will make that dog whistle argument, which is a terrible argument. And I saw
people assume the motive. They think that you only do that because that you hate black people. They assume the motive.
Yeah. Well, how do you disprove a dog whistle? How do you disprove that? You can't. Someone says, "Oh, you're just saying that because you really want to secretly call out to this particular group."
You only want border security because you hate people like S-Man and Brandon and hate Mexicans all around.
It's like that statement is like you're a secret racist, and you're like, but I've got a black friend, and like, oh, that's not a real legitimate. Yeah, you're just saying that, but you're really a racist. I'm like, well, by stating that you have a friend who is black, that means that you don't discriminate, or at least that should be obvious, that you don't discriminate against black people. Otherwise, you wouldn't have one for a friend. And yet they will constantly say, oh, that's not a good argument against it. And like, so at this point, you're racist no matter what you do. That's the dog whistle argument. You're whatever they say you are, even if, you can't say enough or do enough to contradict that, to disprove their theory on what you're really doing.
I have experienced that a lot.
It's like Milo Yiannopoulos. Yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos and Ben Shapiro have both been called Nazis.
Yeah.
How can you disprove them being secret Nazis or whatever?
Yeah, at that point it becomes ridiculous because they're both Jews.
Yeah, they're both Jews. Like Ben Shapiro is an Orthodox Jew wearing a yarmulke consistently. He doesn't. You can't call him or whatever. He's cuts off communication for the Sabbath. He will not answer his cell phone. He will not contact anybody. He won't do interviews on the Sabbath. He's a Nazi, but he's just a secret Nazi, and he's calling out to the Nazis. He's making he's giving them a dog in the fight, and like that you can't if he's a secret Nazi like they claim, what can you possibly do to disprove that? He's already a Jew, like a Jew with a really good knowledge of history.
To play devil's advocate, people will probably mention the fact that Hitler was half Jewish. Just to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, Hitler was half Jewish, but Hitler was the leader of the Nazi Party. Ben Shapiro would have to understand all of the atrocities committed by Hitler and committed by the Nazis and accept them as good things to do, but understand that they are viewed by society as something that is wrong, and then live his life in a way where society wouldn't be able to find out he really loved Hitler, and yet have some way to secretly signal all those people who appreciate Hitler to get his message through to them secretly. Forget 4D chess. That is like 78D chess. That's infinity chess.
Especially if Ben Shapiro had relatives or ancestors that were in the Holocaust in the camps.
Yeah. Well, so how would the Nazis know that he was secretly on their side and know to interpret the messages in the way that he's saying them, or in the way that they're supposed to be taken, rather than the way he's saying them? That's a type of code that would have to be set up beforehand. It just defies all reason to accept that lunacy or that reality of, hey, this
is Alex Jones level of conspiracy.
It might even be beyond Alex Jones.
I would say it's like conspiracies about Alex Jones level of conspiracy.
It's like a conspiracy made up by an insane person smearing feces on their wall, trying to make a secret code to summon something.
Yeah.
Yes, I will agree with that. It's that level of, and this is stuff that people state, and people in the Poor Bastards chat have stated.
So I kind of want to get down to another subject as well, like the whole.
Yeah, I only have about 10 minutes, so we'll try to.
Okay. You don't. Just to sum it up very quickly, you don't believe that somebody's sexuality is a choice. I mean, ignoring transgenderism because people can choose whether they want to transition or not. But do you believe that being homosexual or straight, or in my case, attracted to black chicks, is a choice?
Okay. I don't believe being a homosexual is natural. Like, it's. I don't. I guess I got clarify. I don't think it is a state of nature, as in biologically. Like, it doesn't make sense for someone to, right? Well, let me. So you may have an attraction towards someone of the same sex. That by itself should not make you homosexual. I guess maybe that's where I stumbled in the chat, because going to the definitions, yes, they say attraction or act, which I don't think that has always been the case. I may be wrong on this, but when I was growing up, I remember reading in textbooks that it is the physical act. But maybe that's changed, or maybe that's always been the case, and maybe I've just overlooked it. But it does not, because if you think about the term asexual, like, I know Lonely Wolf is here, and that's the term used to describe what his sexual lifestyle or whatever. Yeah. But when you're talking about from the scientific perspective, an asexual entity is an entity that reproduces without sex. That's not possible with a human being. That's even like the single moms who get the turkey baster and, in vitro, it's still, the process is exactly the same, where it's combining the two sexes chromosomes, or the sperm and the egg. That is the act of sexual reproduction. We don't reproduce asexually, so there should technically be no such thing as an asexual human, and yet it's the problem here.
It's been redefined as a person with no sexual attraction.
Yes, but that's because we have these blurred lines between the acts of sex and the attractions of sex. That leads to all of this confusion, and I think that's by design.
Right, and this kind of goes back into psychology when we were talking about suicide, where I said earlier, we do not know for sure. I mean, and in the case of sex, whether a person really is homosexual, they lust for the D when they are a male, or they lust for the V when they are a female. We'll never know for absolute certain unless they actually committed the act, or we heard of them actually making out with somebody of the same sex.
Unless they.
But until then, we kind of give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well,
but the opposite side of that is the idea that if they have feelings towards someone of the same sex, and they suppress that, there's this suppress, right? That the word I believe that's the word that you use, because that's the word I keyed on. Suppress that. The statement I think you made is that if a man has an attraction, or I don't know if this is exact word, but it's along these lines, a man has sexual attraction toward another man, that man is a homosexual, and they are suppressing it if they don't have sex with a man. That was the idea that was expressed. I don't know if those are exact words.
Something along them lines. I mean, if they refrain, they are just ignoring their own sexual relations or sexual lusts. But anyway, Conundrum wanted to say something. I want to give him time to speak.
There are some animals that do practice homosexual behavior, like flower beetles.
Yeah. Okay, so that I've said that in the chat. is a terrible argument because there are some animals who commit genocide. There are some animals who eat each other. There are some animals, especially chimpanzees, who rip each other apart, like rip them limb from limb. So, okay, so if we're going to base, it's natural because animals do it, well, animals shit in public. Animals eat each other. They eat their own young. Yeah, at what point do you say, okay, maybe some human behavior that mimics animals, and we probably shouldn't do. Because we look down upon cannibalism. We look down on genocide as a bad thing. We look down on homicide as a bad thing. Animals do that on the daily. So animals, there are some animals who also commit homosexual acts. Therefore, humans should also do. That's a bad argument.
I mean, I guess the question then would be moving on from whether it's natural or not. The question would move on to, is it moral, immoral, or amoral?
So the other thing that I want to key in on the animal thing is the animals that are in question, the animals do not reproduce sexually, homosexually. As far as I know, unless maybe somebody will disprove this or give me an example, I don't know of any animal that actually sexually reproduces homosexually.
Or asexually.
Yeah, so there are asexuals. That's the mitosis, right?
There are certain animals that do change their genders.
Yes, they change their gender in order to have sex.
Yeah,
and that's a biological function. It's not. They don't go to the doctor and get surgery.
Yeah, true.
Their body physically changes to be the opposite sex, so that way the species can continue. Okay, sorry.
The way that I perceive asexuality, so biologically, like someone like me doesn't really have a function because we're pretty much. I'm not really of use to in terms of evolution, reproduction, is that we don't really have a use for the world itself. It more like some people who might be people who are androgynous or people who are asexual. It's more of a it serves a cultural utility, I think.
Yeah, so I think we need to come up with new terms for that because it doesn't fit with the scientific definition that's typically used. So combining the two, the sexual preference with the act of sex or the sexual act, leads to these weird situations where, like what we got into the chat, where it's like, that doesn't, because usually someone is something when they do that act. Like I can say, I'm a lawyer, right? I'm a lawyer. I really want to be a lawyer. I've always wanted to be a lawyer. And then I haven't gone to law school. I haven't got past the bar. I don't have a degree. I'm not a practicing attorney. I've never been in a courtroom. Well, I guess, no, I have been in a courtroom, but I've never been in a courtroom on the behalf of someone else. Yeah. I don't want to go into that, but we've talked about that on the stream before. But I can say I'm one thing, and usually people don't identify me as that thing until I act on it. But for some reason, when it comes to sexual attraction, people will say that person is sexually attracted to another person or to someone of the same sex, therefore they're homosexual.
Well, right.
If they go through their entire life and never participate in a homosexual sex act, how are they homosexual? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, it's an issue of that we'll never know for certain, but by definition, as I shared you by Merriam-Webster, it only requires the desire.
That's the problem with that definition. It's the desire or the act. Those are two completely different things. Why would you lump them under the same word?
Could be also
because I guess when somebody acts, I mean, especially consensually, then it's implied that they also have the desire.
That I think that is a failure of the commonly used English language, because those are two separate ideas and they should be stated as such. They should be one word when you're talking about this particular thing, like sexual attraction. Specifically, this type of sexual attraction is this word. When you're talking about someone engaging in the act, specific word for this person is someone who engages in that act. That needs to be separated. It makes no sense why those two words are one and the same.
Okay, so you think that there should be two different definitions for between a person who desires somebody of a different sex from somebody who actually commits some sex with a different gender? Okay, so heterosexual cannot be used to portray somebody who not only desires but also acts on sex. I mean, that's...
No, because then you're lumping together those people that may desire that and choose not to act on it, which is a lot of people who are religious. They may have that desire and choose not to act on it. And here's the last example I want. So I was trying to come up with a good example in the chat. I was failing pretty miserably because I kept coming up with, murder and rape and things like. So someone has a desire to overeat. This is a natural tendency amongst humans, actually. That overeating, right? So I think I made this example, but it was kind of glossed over.
You made it snarkily and sarcastically on the public Twitter when I shared to you the definitions of rapist, murderer, heterosexual, and homosexual.
So someone who desires to overeat, desires to be a fat blob, and chooses not to. By the same logic where you're saying someone who desires to have sex with someone of the same sex as themselves is a homosexual. Someone who desires to overeat is a fat person or is a glutton. They may never act on that desire, but you've already said they are this thing. And in fact, you could also make the argument that they are denying themselves who they really are by not eating as much as they want to.
Okay,
that's the problem we have here.
It kind of sounds like that you're kind of implying that you think that the dictionary is flawed in its terminology of heterosexual and homosexual.
Yes, because you're putting. It is very rare that the act of doing something and the desire are put together in the same word like that. I was trying to come up with another example and was failing pretty miserably. That seems to be pretty unique just to
well, what I have to say upon that is,
which is weird.
What I have to say upon that, until you make the Humane Mind dictionary and it gets publicly accepted across the world, I'm still going to keep on using the dictionary definition of homosexual and heterosexual as somebody who only desires said sex, but doesn't necessarily act on it.
Then that creates a problem, like I was saying. That creates a problem for anybody who believes in the Bible and is Christian. That's where you get people like Ham who are like, oh, the Bible hates gays, and God gave me this sexual attraction. I acted on it, and now I'm, like God, according to those people, God dealt them a bad hand from the start. He condemned them to failure and condemned them to hell or whatever his belief is and all that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah. So moving on from the psychology,
desire, choose not to act on it, and those people are perfectly fine. But there's some people who just by having desire, well, sorry, you were born with that desire. Fuck you.
All right. So moving on away from the psychology.
I gotta go. Thanks. Hopefully, I made myself clear. I don't know. But I'm not coming back to the poor bastards, whatever.
It's probably for the best. I mean, I think that it tries your sanity a lot of times, especially when you waste your time making essay-long writings of it. I think you should save those for videos. If you're
smart, how dare you write more than 3 lines at a time?
I mean, it's up to you.
That's literally what what's his name Vanguard said. Oh, you type more than 3 lines in a row. Pfft, not even bothering reading that.
Hey, I think just my advice is save those for videos, and your views and subscribers will go up tremendously on your channel. But other than that, have a good night, Humane.
Yeah. Good night. Catch you guys later.
Okay, so now it's got less serious. Now let's talk about dank memes.
Donk.
Why are you laughing, Wolf? You're acting like that you just heard the stupidest shit ever.
It was just so funny that I found it funny the asexual thing. It's like just catching up on the dictionary definition, saying we shouldn't use that word because it implies this, and it's like it's not how the language works. There are things called, there are 2 words that can have, sorry, the same word has 2 meanings in different contexts.
Okay. I mean, I kind of had a similar argument with somebody over Twitter regarding definitions. Like, for example, on the aftermath of, um, oh, excuse me, on the aftermath of Ham calling Owen the N-word, I made that video and somebody was arguing with me on definitions. His name was Lefty Conspirator. And I was saying, yeah, I was trying to make the case that Ham is not a racist because he does not believe that in racial supremacy, racial superiority. And I was pointing out that that is literally the dictionary definition, the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of what a racist is somebody who believes in supremacy or discriminates based on race. I mean, and the guy was just completely ignoring the dictionary definition. And he was trying to make the point that dictionaries are not concrete, that they are not set in stone. And that may well be the case, but you haven't provided a definition yourself, really. And even then, I don't care about your definitions until it actually gets nationally or internationally accepted across the globe, or at least across most of the modern world anyways.
And the thing is with Humane is he has to know that homosexuality is genetic.
Genetic?
Explain.
Yeah, it is. I've been looking up when Humane was rambling on about dictionaries and stuff. I was looking up any scientific proof on homosexuality, and most scientists narrowed it down to genetics.
Genetics. So homosexuals are born with it?
Yeah. It is. It's in their genetic makeup.
So. I mean, I don't know of how much that would really be the case. I think that in some cases it might just be that somebody in the environment that somebody is around. Like, for example, you have like Ben Carson. I mean, he misuses the stats, but he goes talking about of how people end up being gay after they have been in jail for so long because they haven't been exposed to women to get their straight sex attraction. And so therefore they're just around dudes all the time and they turn out homosexual. And Ben Carson was using that as to make the case that it is a choice. I don't think that it's a choice, but I think that it's the environments that you might be around that kind of influences the chemistry within your body for what you might ultimately like. Because if I may bring myself up as an example as well, I mean, I never really did primarily like black chicks until I started working at the restaurant that was my last job. Ever since then, it was like the first time that I got massively exposed to black girls and decided, oh yeah, I like that the best. And so yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I just
the whole prison argument. Well, you could. There's something they have to know about that one. In prison, if a person had to be forced in that type of relationship, it will mess your mind up. It is considered rape. So your mind would be messed up. In most sexual abuse cases, a person who is straight actually becomes lesbian, gay, because they can't trust. You get what I'm trying to say?
Because they cannot. They become gay or lesbian because they cannot trust their straight spouse of.
No, it's more of psychological damage. Sometimes the psyche can be broken to that point.
Okay.
The thing is, Humane goes on a lot based on scientific facts. But he doesn't look at the psychological aspect, the mind.
All right.
I tend to look more at psychology, cases, scientific evidence, and come up with my own assumption.
Okay. So, anyway. Only Wolf, how are you? You just got off of a stream with Effeminate Degenerate, didn't you?
Yeah, I enjoyed chatting to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to
we're sort of more like left we're sort of left. We're both kind of left leaning. So it was more of a sharing of stories and rather than a debate sort of situation.
Right. I ought to have myself an interview stream with her about her positions on random subjects, and it might get just a little bit more confrontational than what S-Man did with her, and whatever you do with people, Lonely Wolf. But still, I mean, I find it kind of interesting because I thought she kind of insinuated at one point that she kind of leaned more pro-life than pro-choice, or at least moderately, very, very moderately pro-choice, especially in comparison to Owen. And I'll ask her for clarification on that.
Oh, you're doing another artwork.
Devil on the screen.
What?
Who's that handsome devil on the screen?
I know.
I don't know. He looks like Ozzy Osbourne if he made out with a potato.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks, because that would like you know who would look awesome with that style of artwork with the way that'd be like JPM with the like with the cowboy hat and everything like that.
I'm just giving you shit. It is a cool picture, Conundrum.
I know, that's why I'm joking.
Anyway, so yeah, Lonely Wolf, what the fuck were you doing? What?
Yeah, because JPM, he's like that's the sort of style of artwork that would look good for his like tracing out his like cowboy hat and all that and the suit.
Yeah, I mean he's like a blue dog Democrat, something like that. I was kind of expecting somebody to make a comment at that, or Lonely Wolf to answer that question, but I don't know. I guess you don't know for absolute certain, Lonely Wolf.
No, I know that he leans a little bit more towards the left, sort of left of center.
Right.
But he's a pragmatist above everything else.
He's definitely centrist on stuff and pretty mild mannered, although if not a little bit too mild mannered that it almost turns out as a buzzkill, like Brandon was making the point for the stream of the century. He commented down below in the comment section that that JPM is a boner kill.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I guess Brandon is rewatching it, and he's just liking all the raw, hard rage that everybody is emanating, and then you have JPM that is just kind of dulling everything down.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can see JPM was playing devil's advocate.
Well, no, he wasn't playing devil's advocate. He was trying to be more sympathetic to Josso.
Yeah. And the thing is, we forgot to bring up the other part of that drama shit. The stuff with Chair.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's not really anything, in my opinion. I mean, I haven't engaged with Chair on anything regarding that. As far as I'm concerned, I think I might be more on good terms with him.
I'm good terms with Chair also. I didn't like Kyle was insinuating I was the lead torchbearer in this witch hunt.
What?
Yeah, he said I was the one who was going after Jocelyn and Keeper Cast hard, which I do admit I was, but I was not advocating for Jocelyn's head on a stake.
You weren't even really the one that was leading the charge against it. I mean, it's just like
it was mostly me and Espen that were leading the charge.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody necessarily was leading the charge on that drama. It's just everybody collectively decided, oh yeah, we're going to do this. Nobody really needed a leader to say, yeah, this guy is, this guy is in the wrong. Let's attack him or whatever. Just people decided of their own thought process, automatically decided, yeah, Justin, what he's doing is shit.
To be fair, I knew the guy longer than him, so when he decided to stab me in the back and lie to me several times, really pissed me off, and I'm still rather pissed.
And the thing I didn't like
it ain't the same.
Kyle was just calling Brandon as a kid and stuff, and that's like every time Brandon settled down, Kyle would just call him a kid, and Spurgeon is like, Oh my God, not this all over again. Because Brandon.
I mean, I do think that Cher
and
and I do kind of think that Cher and Kyle are being kind of arrogant with their approach, but at the same time, I thought that Brandon and JJ were getting kind of uppity about it.
I mean,
well.
I admit I was getting a bit uppity, and I don't want to hate them. I really don't, because I like them. They're very insightful and shit. But if you're gonna do that kind of stuff to me when I'm trying to make amends, that really pisses me off.
Yeah, and the thing was that really ticked me off is when Chair had a stream and Johnson was on it. Brandon comes in and attacks it. I'm like, Chair's allowed to have anybody he wants on the stream.
To be, yeah.
That was a load of bullshit.
It was.
What Brendan did, like, it was there's another group that's like where Chair and Kyle and there's a few other people there, and Josso happened to be part of that, and then Brendan came into that group and he was posting these pictures of Josso, and then Chair just says, you know what, I'm not interested in this drama, and then Brendan posts like the repeated images, like it's about 5 different images of people in wheelchairs like falling out of their wheelchairs. I'm just like, what?
Oh shit!
Yeah, I didn't see those pictures, but now that I'm hearing, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Now he did make a joke that was fucked up, but I did kind of find it funny. But I felt bad for finding it funny.
The thing is, Lonely Wolf, I was the only one being civil with that stream, and Kyle comes after that stream attacking me, saying I was the ringleader on this shit.
Okay, no, it's mostly between S-Man, JJ, and Josso. Those are kind of the 3 key players. So it's
but Kyle said it was mainly me.
Bullshit! We were the ones that went after him hard, not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just the person that calls people out on their bullshit, no matter who they are. So I'll go after Josh if he's talking stupid again.
I didn't really like the way that some people in the Poor Bastards was acting like it should have been obvious to Chair on why everybody was angry at Jocelyn, because I can definitely see myself in his shoes, or in this case, in his chair of how he's all like, I need evidence. So yeah, that's kind of fucked of me, but I don't really regret it. But anyways, I can see myself in his place on wanting evidence. I mean, I think that was the humble stance of his, but then there was him acting all snooty, him and Kyle acting all snooty about it.
Yeah, and, like the holier than thou, we're better than you because we're more mature bullshit.
Yeah, and with people saying that there was a ringleader or somebody that was leading the charge.
You cut out, dude. Hello?
No, Dark.
Zach, you okay, brother?
Dark.
You need a beer? Well, I guess his internet cut out like fucking crazy. Zach?
What?
Yeah, you cut out big time, bro.
What were you saying earlier?
Cut out again.
Okay, so as I was saying, compared to the Jocelyn drama, there was nobody leading the charge. But with the Bearing drama, for example, there was somebody leading the charge, and that was like our buddy Loudmouth Reviews. Like he was the one one of the first people to call out Bearing on his bullshit of like practically calling out. I mean, I don't want to bring up old drama, but it's kind of nice to reflect on.
Yeah.
And in the end, everybody was peaceful. But Loudmouth definitely did lead the charge.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Jocelyn drama, I cannot say that there was one person that led the charge.
No. If anybody, and I mean if anybody, because I don't really see the charge, it was me and S-Man.
Maybe. Yeah.
Mostly well, actually, now that I think about it, I think I was just as active as S-Man, so I guess, yeah, both.
I mean, he's the one that did live streams and response videos regarding the whole subject, so he was a little bit more active than you. And
Maybe
all,
on YouTube, but when it came to Josh, I went full force, and I'm gonna say this, I do not regret it because he backstabbed me. I knew the guy before, like a year before when he came back to school. Then he was there. Then he was there even before I met him for the second time.
Yeah.
So knowing somebody had lied to me multiple times and saying, "Oh, I just want to be friends with anybody," instead of apologizing at the very beginning, yeah, that really pisses me the fuck off. Now he did apologize after the fact, but by that time he already fucked up too much for me to forgive him, in my opinion.
Well, I forgive him because in the end it doesn't affect me like permanently, but ultimately I cannot forget it. I cannot I cannot trust him again because of this.
I forgive a lot of people, but I can't forgive him on this part because, just like my mother, she does not deal well with liars. She cuts them out of her life pretty much, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, by all means, JJ. And the thing that kind of makes this more personal with you is that he is a personal friend of yours.
He was.
And Brandon, you tried to help out Jocelyn in his bit of drama with KeeperCast, like
and weight
I mentioned
loss.
and I mentioned Random Discussions podcast number 4, and in the aftermath of that, when going off air, he tried to have a talk, heart to heart with him, and try to comfort him, like, yeah, give him some advice and pointers and whatnot. So it feels shitty for him to basically have all of his efforts to try and comfort Josh regarding KeeperCast be thrown away just so that he could attempt to be coming back again, another KeeperCast frat boy.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love the guy to bits, man. He's one of the closest friends I have. But when it came to how hard he's, holding grudges, that's where I have to draw the line, because he, with the whole Chairview and Kyle thing, I think he is going too far, and I do laugh at some of them because I'm fucked up. Yes, and when it comes to that, now a Chair, I kind of forgive him. I'd be willing to talk to him and say, hey, maybe you were right, maybe that, or maybe I talk about my feelings when it came to this kind of thing. But with Brandon, he's just going full force. He's not stopping. I get it. He's an asshole, but you got to know when it's time to stop at some point in time.
Yeah, because Chair's like he's sort of like said what he's had to say, and so is Kyle, and they're over it. Like they don't want anything to do with the thing like Josso or any of the sort of back and forth sort of stuff, and that's what that's what Chair said.
And that's completely fine.
It's when like Brandon keeps sort of bringing it up and trying to stir shit with Chair. That's when I sort of get a bit salty, thinking, all right, you got to like let this go. There, he's not interested, so you're barking up the wrong tree.
And I'd be willing to talk to a Chair or Kyle, say, hey, I realize I see where you guys were at, and maybe I did go a little too hard, and I apologize for it, but
yeah,
the full story was I had somebody that betrayed me that I knew personally, and so that's why I got all uppity and mad.
You got to pick your battles.
Yeah,
because I'm sort of I'm very close to Chair, so it's kind of hard for me to I try not to get too much into it.
And I can't really tweet at him at the moment because Twitter's being a spurg. So if you'd be willing to do that, Wolf, I'd be greatly appreciated.
And the
I'd
thing,
greatly
yeah,
appreciate
awesome.
that.
Yeah, I'll let Chair know.
And the thing with the whole Chair situation was, I agree with Chair because he came in after the shitstorm happened. He has a right to ask these questions because it's like somebody telling somebody after the street's been cleaned after a 30-car pileup.
And you're just thinking, what the hell happened here?
Yeah.
That's why I'm like when I enter the chat and then I see something really fucking weird, I'm like, what the fuck happened here?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a crash victim just snaps at that passerby and says, "Isn't it fucking obvious, you idiot?"
Yeah, I think I may have done that, and I realized maybe I should have been a lot more careful with my words and didn't let emotions take over what I was speaking.
And yes, I know the thing that Jocelyn did was fucked up because I was actually glad for him that he found these guys and started improving. I went against Jocelyn dozens of times.
Yeah, you actually had a developed relationship with him. You knew him for a while. You went through drama with him before. You butted heads with him and gone through turmoil. And so you actually had some conditioning with your relationship. I mean, it's kind of in the same way that the Bearing drama kind of solidified the relationship between me and Loudmouth in a way.
Yeah.
And I know Jocelyn made a lot of mistakes.
Oh, he did. I saw it online.
Beastie Man knows that shit.
Jocelyn, I think you made yourselves a lot of big mistakes. And goodness knows that I made lots of mistakes. That's my JPM impression, by the way. Sorry. I couldn't help it.
I mean, you kind of got the lisp in it, but when it came to the voice, you made him sound like a dopey.
Hell, with the shit with Jocelyn, why do you think Soma came back?
Yeah, because I was on that first stream where he tried to get Soma in. I'm just like, what a jackass. But as I learned, I still sided with Josh because, you know, me and him were tight homies and all that kind of shit. But then now I look back, I'm like, yeah, I can understand why. Josh was being a complete and utter jackass.
Yeah.
By the way, what do you...
Me, Godric, and Soma had history with Jocelyn.
Yeah. Online, and I really didn't know him very well at that point.
Godric being one of the people to have a history with Jocelyn, yet he is one of the people least involved and least up to date on the Jocelyn drama.
And
That's
me,
kind of ironic.
After
yeah, it is.
You had to know, before JJ knew, before you actually heard my name from Jocelyn's mouth, and that whole stream where I got on my own PlayStation, started cursing you all the fuck out.
Yeah.
I always felt in my deepest heart I acted on instinct on kicking Jocelyn out of my group.
Yeah. But the old-fashioned saying, time heals all wounds, or at least most of them, that is very true when it comes to this, but also it can reopen some shit that probably shouldn't have been reopened.
Yeah, and that's the thing that reopened. When Jocelyn started going down this downward spiral, I'm like, I can't witness this again.
Yeah, we're just like, we helped you through whenever you were a socialist fucktard. When you went up against War Corps, when you went up against Soma, Conundrum, Godric was the one that came to us to tell us that he hadn't committed suicide, aka Soma's boyfriend, and all this kind of stuff. But it's just like he's falling down that hole again. It's just like he has his up points and he just drops right back down.
Yeah.
And when Jocelyn went after that darn tranny, that...
Hello?
Yeah, I think
I'm just biting my nails.
Oh,
when he
okay.
went to that darn tranny, that's when the train wreck really happened back then.
And I didn't know the full story because, you know, all of his videos were deleted even before I saw all this, so I kind of sided with him because that's what friends do.
Hey,
I don't know the full extent of that first bit of drama with Jocelyn regarding that darn tranny and
neither did I.
Well,
what?
The ICL channel I sent has the video on what truly happened.
Yeah, I saw that video, and I'm just like, I was still at a loss because I didn't understand it fully, and now I do.
I'm definitely gonna have to like see that video probably right after this this stream.
ICL Josso the Clown Part 1.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Josh re-uploaded that video on his channel before he deleted it.
Well, I sent it to S-Man.
So yeah, you might be able to either look up ICL and find his channel, which he's not that big.
But Dark, JJ, S-Man, see you're here. I did find something a treasure trove for you guys.
Ooh, what'd you get us?
I sent it to you all the DMs.
Oh, I saw that, and I'll probably get to watching either tomorrow or tonight.
Yeah, Christmas came early. Let me put it this way: Christmas came early. Your old Papa Patrick gave me some good stuff.
Wait. Is that the link that you sent me in private DMs?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you said that these are DMs. These are DMs related to what now?
Jocelyn.
All right.
Oh, is this whenever he poured the stuff on his head?
Not just that. I did find another clip.
Ooh.
Of him breaking a chair when he was beating off.
No.
Did he like fall from the chair or something?
What did you said what? You said what, Lonely Wolf?
That wasn't an intelligent. I made no intelligent sounds, and that was just like a random sound.
Okay. Oh, Gesundheit.
I gotta see that video later. Okay, it's official. It's official. I am now legally blind, and I'm gonna need.
Somebody help me! I'm legally blind.
I'm gonna need as much bleach as I can get my little Mexican hands, if I can find the goddamn bleach, and not mistake it for the Drano.
Oh,
your little Mexican
I was
hands.
searching if Jocelyn had a Kiwi Farms thread.
Oh God!
Wait, what?
I'm searching if Jocelyn has a Kiwi Farms thread.
Oh God! I mean, out of all the times that I have,
porn site?
Kiwi Farms?
Yeah. Is that
What
a
is it?
porn site?
No, Kiwi Farms is for the most spurgiest of spurgs.
I'm gonna look up Kiwi Farms.
So basically, Jocelyn's breeding ground. I'm a cunt.
Let me put it this way: Kiwi Farms is the home of Chris Chan.
Is it Reddit?
Dude.
Is there a bit of incel? Is there a bit of incel territory in Kiwi Farms?
Oh, is it its own website, or is it on Reddit?
It's his own website.
Oh, I think I found it.
Oh God!
Hell, Gabe the Samurai's on Kiwi Farms.
What the fuck? Lolcow General providing grounds. Brianna Wu.
Isn't Brianna Wu running for the Senate?
Brianna Wu.
Like I said,
Hey,
you have to know, with this whole Jocelyn situation, I've been going full Medicare on this.
Oh God.
Well, yeah. I still need to watch that.
Just don't
Medicare
dox. Just don't dox like important personal information.
No, I won't dox. I don't believe in doxing.
Dyke H.
Thank you.
Oh, good God.
I mean, I actually saw a comment from Mr. Medicare. It was like in the comment section of one of Sargon of Akkad's video talking about H Bomber guy. He said that he had what I assume to be H Bomber's real name. Is like Harry something.
Harry Styles.
Yeah, sure. But anyway, he said that he has his address, and I'm just like, wait, what the fuck? There's actually a threat to dox and there's actually a threat to dox a social justice warrior. You were just making anti-SJWs look even worse, Medicare. Shut the fuck up.
I mean didn't Mr. Medicare also make a 3-part video thing to like some messed up fucker?
Yeah, Ross.
I need to watch those 3 videos by Mr. Medicare.
Yeah, and he went off on Dr. Randomer Cam about it.
Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, the one said comment, it was from a a channel that was called Mr. Medicker Archives or something or other. So I do not know if it's actually Mr. Medicker's Prime channel or just some fan of his that took the.
Well,
same...
he does. He tells people to archive his shit.
So it probably is a fan who's archiving his shit.
Yeah.
Is just trying to make his own senpai look bad.
Please notice me, senpai.
That's so fucking dumb.
Used to be called the Internet Aristocrat.
I can't stand aristocrats.
I do have to say that
Gamergate.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not
good
gonna
God.
lie. Patrick's beard in that picture looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Better than my neck beard.
Yeah, speaking of pictures, hey, Conundrum, how do you think that this thing is turning out so far?
Oh God.
I mean, I'm kind of hypnotized by the well, not by the original source photo itself, but the,
Oh my! It looks fabulous.
Oh God, that
think it
was
looks
too
good so far?
fabulous.
Think it looks good so far, Conundrum?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. It's a trace for trace picture.
Yeah.
I'm wishing whenever you made my picture, Zach, that I had my facial hair.
What facial hair?
Oh,
Anyway, JJ, I saw on Facebook you took a quiz of how dirty-minded you were. The results did not shock me one bit.
Imagine my shock.
Imagine my shock. JJ's a
Well,
trans
imagine
boob.
my shock.
If Owen were to ever say
That's
imagine.
fucking terrible.
Imagine my shock. JJ's a trans boob. He hates trans people. No, I don't know.
Well, at least he's not as dirty-minded as Jocelyn, like masturbating with his sister's underwear.
I don't think he has a sister. I'm pretty sure he has a brother, though.
God,
oh, by the way,
brother's underwear.
That's some incest type shit there, bruh.
I'm gonna
It
put
wouldn't
bleach in
surprise
my
me
eyes.
one bit.
Zach, I'm gonna have to annex your private property rights and take your bleach. Because I did not need that shit, so I'm gonna have to over
From my cold dead hands, bitch.
But the
by the way, S-Man, did you see that chocolate lasagna thing?
Oh yeah, that shit. Even though like the chocolate lasagna, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, diabetes by looking at it, but it's fucking worth.
Oh no!
Because there's a cake recipe that I make. Like whenever I make the Coca-Cola cake, that's like fucking diabetes right there.
Yep, and JJ, when you said "oh no," you sounded like as if you forgot to clear your search history.
Oh no, it's just I thought somebody stuck like a hook through their arm, but it was just a tattoo.
Oh.
Oh god, that does sound painful.
It was just so like well done. It had like the pinch skin like design. It was just like, is that real? Oh, never mind. It was just a tattoo. Note to self.
Oh,
Be careful on the internet.
And by the way, Lonely Wolf, you keep on going gay over the idea of me animating JPM. The thing is, I think I need him to like send a higher quality picture to me because his current profile pic looks about as blurred as S-Man's. So I cannot really animate that well.
Fuck you, Zach.
You seriously ought to retake that picture of yourself in the
get like a new.
Okay, here's the thing. I was 14 and a half and here's the thing, right? The reason it's so low resolution as Vanguard was spurging at me about is when this still image was taken, I was on the other side of the room. I just cropped in and zoomed in, and this is the image I got. And it doesn't look too bad. And hell, motherfucker, at least I actually took a picture of myself rather than this animation bullshit.
I took a picture of myself too, bitch, and then I animated it. So, ha!
And with my picture was with me until Zach made a, painting of it.
Yeah, and yours was a little closer.
TikTok.
Fuck off, Zach.
But I think you should update your picture because
I've thought about it, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird when I look at the picture, when I really look at it, because when I did that, I actually felt, some joy because this was for a totally different project, but I liked the frame I paused on, and I was like, I had a screen cap immediately because I'm like, I'm probably never going to get a frame that perfect again. The only thing, if I were to change, like if I could go back to when I made this, I would have blurred the park background. I would have blurred that because I'm all up close and shit. But other than that, I don't really regret the whole image. However, if we want to talk about fucking blurry, Warcorpse's old picture for the original Warcorpse channel was blurrier than mine, so eat a dick.
To be fair, you are right.
Are you referring to the one that I used for the thumbnail of my abortion debate with him?
His profile picture on his old channel.
I think that is the same profile pic that I used.
Well,
for
yeah.
Wait, isn't that the one where he has like a beer bottle in his mouth and he's like chugging the shit?
No, that's his cooking channel profile pic.
Oh.
He looks like he has his mouth wide open as if he's yelling or he's doing something gay.
that picture.
Yeah, it's a black and white, almost completely light gray picture.
It looks like somebody put a dildo in his ass dry. Warcorpse, I just fucking roasted your ass. Come at me, bitch.
Wow. For some reason, that
was a tad gay.
Although I'm not gonna.
Well, he does look like a discount.
You know what the funniest thing is? That I can totally imagine that being the case with that picture.
My picture is just like
dildo up his ass.
In my picture's case, I just look like I heard something stupid, and I'm like, really? In Zach's case, he's just sitting there, just like totally not in the mood to deal with people's shit. Lonely Wolf, his picture looks happy, and JJ, he from how he has his hands on his hips, like some old 50s white woman. He looks like he's about to get the belt out and beat his child with it.
Oh, that's probably something I would do as a father if he were to.
That's kind of the it's that trope that they had on Family Guy, the black woman in hindsight. It's like, I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Because I told you.
Yeah.
That clip is hilarious.
Imagine a black Australian woman.
I just saw the picture again. I'm just like, yep, I think I nailed it down with him. Well, he is like a discount TJ Kirk, so.
And then like some of the because you do the Tucker Carlson look. It's like
I do. Oh God!
It's like you're like, what the fuck did you just say?
You said, mate.
What'd you say, cunt?
What is up with Tucker Carlson's face, for that matter? I mean, he always got this this face like where he's just thinking in his head constantly, that has got to be the stupidest thing that I have ever seen. I mean, it's the equivalent to that one movie character that people always play when they hear something stupid. What you just said was the stupidest thing that I have ever heard in my life. Nobody at any point in this room did anyone learn anything, and you just made everybody all the more stupider for it, or something along those lines. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Meme. Though it's been done to death and 3/4, still okay meme. One meme I've considered using was my laughing at Owen's messed up face. The time he said eat fried chicken and water.
When you have an aneurysm and an orgasm at the same time. Yep.
I don't regret showing that picture to Baron. I showed it in Zach's stream, and I think I scarred Baring for life that night.
I wish I could
which Baring cannot catch a break. He's been banned from Twitter again. I mean, he had another Twitter account where he was calling it @Baring's Cuz, where he was posing for pretend as like a fake cousin of his. It's called Baring's Cousin Clancy, something like that. I wonder if he has a Discord where I can like send him hangout links, because he did tell me like in the comments section of one of my videos, one of my Strike Force episodes, hey, we ought to like have another stream and get caught up again. And of course, this was like right after the time that he was banned from Twitter, so I don't have the D.
Oh, what the fuck are you wearing, Conundrum?
Zach,
maybe
Zach,
you can use
got,
his Discord, maybe Discord or something like that.
Zach,
I was wearing my mask.
Zach got cut off in a very, very out of context and hilarious point. You said you didn't have the D or something, and I'm like,
You want? He wants the dick.
He wants the D.
He wants the bearing D. I'm sorry. No, that's already been taken up by Whitey so much.
But
I know that's why he had
that hairy pink penis.
Yeah, that's
I think that I think Aspie needs to calm down.
No. We all know what Zach wants. He wants the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
AKA the dick of Bearing's ass.
I mean, Zach. To be fair, like with Whitey on Bearing's dick all the time. To be fair, you wouldn't get anything out of it. And besides, with Whitey, he'd spend forever and a half trying to remove those bear furs from in between his teeth.
That's the reason why he had to take a break from YouTube and had to shut down his channel. He realized that the hairs were coalescing around his teeth so much that he could not utter a sentence without so much slurring a furry lisp.
Yes. And I remember when
but then I don't know, the same thing with Aspie as well, because I remember that time where because you were having an argument with Bearing or something about some shit, and then afterwards you just shot the shit because I think you resolved like whatever your differences were, and then when Aspie was on, he was like, oh god, it was like, calm down, you're gonna bust a nut. It's like, calm down.
Yeah.
It's like, oh hey Bearing, have you seen my new video? Oh hey Bearing, I've seen it. And I'm just like, oh god, you gotta dial it back. Calm down.
He's a very energetic little fella, even though he's like 3 years older than me.
After that stream, Lonely Wolf, I think we can all confirm that Aspie, the reason why he doesn't make very many videos is because whenever he'd go after these YouTubers trying to talk to them, like if they responded or they just read the message, he'd have to get a replacement for the keyboard.
He's just like, hey, did you see my new video? Did you see it? Did you see it? Oh shit.
And he's like, he leaves a mess all over his keys.
You've got to play it down a bit, saying, oh yeah, hey Bearing, because I was on a stream with Cher, and he had like big YouTubers on like Amiga and that, and I was just, you just got to be yourself and say, oh hey, what's up?
Just stay cool and calm and collected.
Like, oh god, it's just like,
it's sort of like
down, girl.
It's sort of like what I had on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, Underworld6667 on my stream. He was a popular Yu-Gi-Tuber. A lot of people went like, "Wait, senpai!" That's how Aspie is when these big time political YouTubers are on.
If I got to meet Undoomed, I'd be like, "Hey, Undoomed," even though in my head it'd be like, "Oh my god, it's Undoomed."
I did get to chat with Undoomed on one of
Lucky bastard.
It was on Loudmouth's birthday stream. I've talked to Loudmouth.
Seems like a cunt.
I've talked to Undoomed and Bearing. We've gotten to talk to Whitey and Gemini.
Well, I've talked to Whitey, Gemini, and Bearing once.
The thing is, I would like to talk to them. I'd be very chill.
Gemini is a cool dude to be around, to be honest.
Hell, we had Workhorse.
I like him.
We had Workhorse on this stream.
I did have
a beer and drink one with him.
I did have a stream with Warcorpse. It was very impromptu. Very glad it happened, and my camera was actually not being a spaz that day. And the funny thing is, when Warcorpse would yell, I'd have such a hard time not laughing my fucking ass off. Like, because he just yell, like, when I mentioned gender or Riley Dennis or both. He just starts yelling, not at me, but just about the subject in general. It's fucking funny.
I'd love to stream with Warcorpse one of these years just to see the shit he says.
I would talk more about his cooking channel. I actually love his cooking channel, man.
Oh yeah, I do. I especially love the intros, like, because he would do this old school style, then he really started to improve. Like, you know.
Oh, shut Dallas up.
Oh,
Lonely
sorry.
Lonely Wolf, can you pull an Amanda? Actually, what am I saying? Can you pull a Casey Anthony on your bird real quick? Zach, I do remember. Yeah, just yeah. But
sorry
basically,
about that.
that's all right. But I remember Zach, like how he used to be before he switched to the dark conservatarian. Over 9,000. Basically, I remember when he said, "You're the first YouTuber, Whitey. You're the first YouTuber on my channel that has over 10,000 subscribers." And I could just hear the cringe in Whitey's voice, and I was just loving it because he sounded like he was in pain. Like when I was laughing so hard in one of Aspie's streams or something, Whitey, I could hear the pain. He's like, "S-man, stop laughing," or saying to all of us to stop laughing. I loved it. Like I don't really like the guy. I don't hate him, but I just don't like him. Funniest shit ever. And then when he's like, yeah, and then he's telling Lonely Wolf to turn off his camera because he didn't like Lonely Wolf's eyebrows. Part of me wanted to tell Lonely Wolf to keep his camera on and then make the fucker uncomfortable.
Oh, you say that you're not too fond of Whitey?
Yeah, I just get this impression that his mother should have drank before the 4th trimester, or she should have accidentally fallen down the stairs.
Because I was salty with him for doing that, but then I thought, he's just a cunt. So once I accepted him saying he is a cunt, but then once I accepted it, I was like, but you're my kind of cunt. Like I actually liked him after that.
He was just an annoying douche,
but he doesn't take himself. At least he doesn't take himself seriously. And I thought, thank God,
Yeah, if he would have taken himself seriously, if he would have taken himself seriously in any regard, I probably would have laughed at him. When Google It was roasting him, and she kind of did go a little far in a few areas, but not gonna lie, it was pretty funny. It was on Aspie's 300 subs stream or something.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie, I had a blast just laughing as she was just going thug life like several times over in this lifetime on him. And then now she's all like, she hardly ever insults anyone anymore. And it's so weird that she actually
gets real pissed.
Yeah, it's so weird that she edits her videos now. Like, because when she did that response video to Jocelyn called "The Jocelyn Apologizes Somewhat" or something, not gonna lie, it was pretty well edited. Yeah, and then her description's like, yeah, she's like, kinda, somewhat, sorta, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of chuckled at it. Her most recent video, which was some anti-capitalist shit, not gonna lie, I did find the editing rather amusing. The music, not so much, but the video quality itself, pretty good. Yeah. Oh yeah, the video is called "The Jocelyn Apologizes Sort of." Not gonna lie, the fact she does this seriously, but with no bullshit as her avatar, is just lovely.
Oh yeah.
And her videos have been getting quite a bit of clicks for a channel of only less than 20 subs.
Yeah, I actually think Google It really improved her content over time.
You know who else's channel has been getting a lot of clicks despite their sub count?
You?
No, I was about to say, well, yeah, me, because I'm a bit of a view whore, especially when you compare me to Humane Mind, Voltaire, Sir Conservatarian. I mean, people who have relatively similar amounts of subscribers, but yet don't have near the amount of views as I do. But no, who I was about to mention, who else that gets a lot of clicks in comparison to their sub count is the American Josh. He only has one sub, and yet people, I think I blame you guys, honestly. I blame you guys. You guys are all like, I'm curious as to what shenanigans Josh is up to, and you just go clicking on his videos thinking, what stupid shit does he have to say?
The only reason I even did that response was basically, here's what I did.
You were bored, that's why. Just admit it.
It was that, but I also knew that what he had to say about America was going to be full of bullshit. It's just too easy, I know using the beating up the slow kid analogy is a little rude, but in this case, it was true. And also, the video got 120 views in a week, which is insane.
Oh, by the way, S-man, check the poor bastard's chat.
Please, God, let it not be anything I'm going to put a gun in my mouth for.
The debate results when I post, that's been getting me a lot of likes myself. I've been getting 6 likes, 33 views. The Jocelyn one, I got 5 likes and 50 views, 61 views on the video before that, and 8 likes. I'm actually boosting up a bit.
Oh, cool. JJ, you fucking idiot. What are you doing in the chat? Anyway, also, Here's how I made that video. Basically, I just started recording with Audacity, and I'd listen to Jocelyn's video off of my phone so you wouldn't hear reverb, and I would just pause and just say something, and I'd have to guess like where it sounded like it fit in an edited video. I'm not gonna lie, it felt so good to laugh at him when he's like, "There's the American flag in the background," and then we exploit our politicians. Hey guys, this is the American Josh. You said you guys, which is no one in my audience, said you wanted an American rant. Well, you got it. You got an American rant. And here's an American flag in the background, which
Actually, they're my sheets.
Which are my shit-stained sheets.
Shit-stained and cum-stained sheets.
That is sad if that were actually true. The guy doesn't know how to wash his own sheets for the life of him, and so he just keeps.
Hey guys, I do have a little bit, I guess, of some fucked up shit. I think it did involve Josh. I think one time we have at our school we have like a weight room. I think I remember hearing one time while he was on the bench press, I think he shit himself and then got on the bench.
Oh no! No!
I'm pretty sure it was him because somebody said, "Hey, be careful, I think Josh shit on that."
Zach, you sound like you're busting a nut ever so slowly. Please stop.
What? Over what? Over Jocelyn shitting himself?
Yes.
Yeah,
that is officially why, everybody. So and Zach admitted it. Yeah, see? He's not denying it. So therefore it's true.
I totally have a fetish for a tubble large shitting him.
Yeah, you admitted it. Your words, not mine, fucker.
What'd you just link, S-Man?
I just linked Google her latest video.
Quit muting me, bitch.
Google its most recent video has like 5 likes, 4 dislikes, and Humane and Freddie left their comments, and her intro is kind of funny.
Wait.
Actually, I'm gonna also show the outro to her video. Like, it's kind of funny, just like how serious she takes it, but the avatar she uses. So let me just quickly screen share just to show those that are gonna look. You can continue animating, Zach. And is it about to end?
I have to ask something, guys.
What?
I got a lot of flack on one video in particular that was against the atheist gamer by the commentary community. They were saying, like, throughout the whole video, calls Tag a bully. Later in the video, threatens to cause physical harm to him if he ever comes near this area. 10 out of 10 perfect logic.
When did you make this video?
It was
October.
Yeah, it was 2016 when. Yeah, it was 2016 because what happened was Barry made a video against some 14-year-old girl, and he was nothing but ad hominem attacks. And as a result, Barry goes after him. They have a debate, which basically the atheist gamer was pegged really hard, and
the commentary community went after me for this video.
Yeah, and I made 2 of my own videos against the atheist gamer. One was in response to his response to that girl. The second one was for the fact he was complaining about his sub count, and I'm like, bruh, I have 62 subscribers. You have almost 2,000. Don't complain to me. Don't complain in general for the fact you have 2,000 subscribers. Like, I would, I wouldn't do anything gay for 2,000 subs. Like, no, I would prefer to stay at 450 than do anything like that. JJ, you can do that. That's your choice. But your boy S-Man isn't going to go down that path. Sorry, not sorry. But, it's like I have over 100,000 views and almost 450 subscribers. To me, that's pretty great for a channel my size. And, I mean, yeah, sure, I do post a lot, but they do get quite a bit of clicks sometimes. Like, my most popular video, I think, this year was responding to Naiad Child, or it was the No Bullshit rant. either way, those videos I think did not too bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna send the commentary that was done to me, and I want to see if you're in agreement with what they did, or they didn't know the situation and they screwed the pooch on this one.
Okay.
That's not the first time they fucked a pooch.
Oh, bestiality. Bestiality for the win.
Yeah, because in the whole video, I felt like you're defending Tag on his actions, basically.
It was called Josh by the PM.
You're
officially
breaking up.
You're cutting out, bro.
Fucking damn it.
Fucking damn it. Just the last thing I heard. Fucking damn it.
Fucking damn it. Whoever the poor kid in Africa that made the computer, fucking hell. You know, I thought losing 3 fingers would make,
it was in China, you
China.
racist.
China, whatever.
China.
Whoever the fucker was that made this, they apparently they should have lost more than 3 fingers making this. Now, keep in mind that's obviously a joke. So before anyone starts spurging all over the keyboard at me, keep in mind I don't actually.
Holy shit! That scared the fuck out of me.
Damn,
Like,
Zach.
holy shit!
I didn't know you and Aspie shared the same mating call.
The wild Zach ready to mate with the wild Aspie.
And I'm going to be writing. I'm going to actually DM Google it to write a fanfic about that.
No.
Too late.
No.
Too late.
As Zach was preparing to mount the wild Aspie, he let out his war cry.
Unless she's
Love me, senpai.
Unless she's actually going to go back to her typical trolling days, no. But I don't know. I feel dirty if the current day Google it would be making a fanfic of me.
I have no idea what's going on with my voice.
I think you'd feel dirty no matter what you did. Okay, so my most popular video this year has 306 views on it thus far, and it's only 3 months old.
369.
Yeah, and speaking of number counts, 62 subscribers. That feels like forever, doesn't it, S-Man?
Yes, and especially every time you get to another 100, it's a little easier to get to the next 100. Sometimes not.
Not for me.
Yeah, but to be fair, you pretty much you're more of a my channel exists and I'm chill with that. Me and Zach are like, we see stuff we disagree with, we're gonna go after it, or we shoot the shit on these streams because
To be fair, I'm starting my own streams, aka Crusading Live, which pretty much just gonna be hangout streams unless I actually want to debate.
Yeah.
My stream is basically anime and shoot the shit. And I even told him, hey, don't hijack my stream.
Yeah.
Speaking of Patrick, I'm actually looking back at your older videos. I'm currently at the 2-year mark.
Yeah.
But
you're kind of shitty.
A lot of these videos are starting to get closer and closer to 100 views. A few of them. Let's see. Because my 2 of my debates with Owen, my most recent ones, are in 100
robotic.
range.
Zach, you're going more robotic than Zach did.
Fuck you.
To be fair, it was more of a roast on Zach.
Well, I just wanted to say that just to see if it would come in any clearer, but it's all good, JJ.
It did.
Yes, good.
And
good.
Fuck you too.
No, Zach, I've said this before. Not into pale Christian white dudes.
Hey, you're the one who offered it first, pudgy little Mexican boy.
At least I have someone, motherfucker.
To be honest, I've gotten a lot of 100-year views.
It's War Corpse. That's who.
Holy shit! One of my videos has 269 views.
And you're the one that took it up the ass from burying to get to 200 subs.
No. I made him take it up the ass.
Yeah, he is the one who gave you the subs when you were the one that gave the head. Fucking wrecked. Zach, just take the L now. We'll all understand.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, if somebody is going to say that I sucked Bering's dick to get the amount of subs that I do right now, they'd be wrong. It's more like ass raped him.
Well, I'm going to give you guys a great channel that has a lot of feminist garbage on it, but I think you're going to get some good material out of it.
Good God. I'm looking back at my videos that aren't, privated. I'm just thinking, what the fuck was I doing with my life
I'm
at
going to
that
give you
moment?
the channel, the S-Man in Dark.
Hey, you was being a kid. That was what, JJ?
Content out of this.
Oh my god.
I'm talking about myself.
I'm looking at this video. I'm looking at the video where it's showing all these avatars. JJ would his carpal tunnel would get worse from it within the first 5 seconds.
What are you talking about?
The video I was just DM'd by Conundrum, like the link he just sent me. It's a 30-minute video, and from the looks of the avatars within the first 5 seconds, your carpal tunnel will be inflared, even more so than when Zach sees a new video from the goddamn regressive voice. Just kidding, Zach.
Oh, fuck off. No. I get carpal tunnel whenever my name is Josephine uploads something new.
I wasn't going to send it to you, Dark, for this guy.
I clicked the clipper.tv link, and it's just saying error, record not found.
Oh, shit.
My third most popular video this year, at least thus far, is the video I did with Zach against the Young Turks video on libertarianism. I love this skit for the fact that when Zach thinks he's whining or something, he just rotates in a circle.
I really like that video. It's probably one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, I already sent you it. It's in the 31-second mark. This guy in the commentary community is a famous SJW.
I also love this the part of the skit, as I zoom in on myself and then you see me twirling in the air and then you see me zoom in and then you're like, okay, fine.
Oh my lord, the stream's been going on for almost 4 hours.
Speaking of things that have gone on for 4 hours, that have not gone on, that can't last for 4 hours. How's your boy Josh, JJ?
Honestly, I have not been talking to him because, like I said,
it was a joke.
Although he is still wobbling around like an obese penguin, so.
Oh, JJ, that's a little harsh to obese penguins. Fat shaming obese penguins.
In fact, I'm gonna do like a demonstration on how he walks. I'm gonna turn on my camera.
JJ, you'd have a better chance of turning your camera on than he does.
Robotic breakup.
This is how he walks.
Yeah, I can imagine when Zach did his profile picture. From the way Joshua's legs looked in that picture, he looks like he would waddle everywhere. In fact, if he lost weight, he would still waddle because his bones. He's proof of evolution. That the species of Josso, even if they're skinny anorexic people, they still waddle because that's how their legs were designed in evolution.
Wow. What the fuck are you laughing at, JJ?
He's obviously giving someone a little bit of a head, so that's why he's doing that noise. He can't breathe.
I know I sound like a Windex bottle.
Wow, I've been going on for so long. You know what I feel like I'm pulling, you guys?
Your
Andy
dick.
Worski. What the fuck? Fuck off. I kind of feel like I'm pulling in a Worski live, where it's just like an open panel for discussion for anybody who wants to join.
That's how I felt back in November and December when I had the strike. And then that's how I felt throughout April for doing those religion streams with Humane. One went on for nearly 8 fucking hours. I was shook that it went on that long. I didn't even realize.
You used the word that most people aren't supposed to be using, as man, shook.
Speaking of things that were shook at birth, that's probably why he changed his mind so much. Anyway,
you're talking about Jocelyn or
yeah.
Andy?
Both.
Actually, you know what? Both. Like at this point in time, it's both. Speaking of things that have both, probably again Andy Worski. That's why when he yells, he goes, and he just sounds like he has both going on. Like the estrogen and the testosterone are in a fight to the death to see who will dominate that little pathetic man-child's body.
Ugh.
I remember when Google accused Zach of having a vagina. I'm not gonna lie, that was fucking great.
No, he doesn't have
me? Yeah, when Google was trolling in the chat a few months ago, she's like, Zach secretly has a vagina. I was fucking laughing, especially when Aspie repeated when Google was like Aspie was looking at Zach's vagina. Me and JJ started dying.
Nowadays, Google it will call you a transphobe if you was to ever make a similar comment.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but she said she looked deep in the left-wing politics, and that's all it took.
It broke the universe. It wasn't supposed to happen. Dude, why do you sound like you're jerking someone off with
my fingers, you stupid son of a bitch.
I thought you were jerking someone off with handcuffs or something.
No, that's what would happen to Jocelyn if he gets arrested at a little kid's park. He's trying to offer the officer that, and the officer just castrates him with a pair of handcuffs.
To be fair, Zach doesn't have a vagina. He has a vaginus.
What?
Well, a vagina and a penis in one.
Apparently, I think that actually is possible for some intersex people, but hashtag not all. Because me and Lapis had that gender debate, and I kind of pointed that out as I was citing a source. That debate was a lot of fun because it wasn't just
Was it more productive than Owen's debate with Aspie on the subject?
Huh?
What's so funny about a woman with a penis?
Oh, the debate was more productive. Like, I mean, hell, we could have even talked about this for like 20 minutes and just ended the stream if we were that quick to the point. Still have been more productive than that. I mean, to be fair, his debate was more productive on that topic than Ian Conway.
Twitty?
Oh, shit.
That debate was perhaps the worst. I mean, Jocelyn, Jocelyn, it's hard to say he takes the cake because that stream didn't even last 20 minutes, just like how he didn't even last with a woman for 30 seconds. But,
No, he'd only last like 2 seconds. He's just like, oh, God.
I mean, in Ian Conway's case, he was able to survive an hour before Owen was like telling him to stop.
Hey, yes, man. If you ever meet Josh in real life, I know this is kind of bad considering what this is. Could you please fucking smack him in the face with this?
Oh, I feel bad for that book, even though it's the New Testament. I still feel bad for that book. Like, JJ, you can't be a true Christian if you would force the New Testament to suffer by touching a pile of dog shit.
Well, this isn't a true Bible, so I don't think God would be that mad.
It wouldn't matter. The fact you forced a book, you forced anything in general. Hell, you could force Saddam Hussein if he was still alive. God would be like, no, God, Saddam Hussein, bad guy, but even he doesn't deserve that type of pain and misery.
I throw him in the room with Josh, who's just like, food! And then
man, I sent you some goodies.
Towards him.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. It's funny.
Yeah, there's a video of Snake defending BLM.
Black Lives Matter? Jesus.
Yeah.
Let me, forgot to add a few videos to my playlist. God fucking damn it. But
so with the Master TP one, what do you have to say on that one?
Huh?
We have to say on the TP one. The one they did on me about tag.
That I have not checked out yet, but I'll look at it. But I ain't gonna lie, like I've only received one response video this year, and I'm not gonna lie, it was perhaps the worst in terms of like I wasn't strawmanned all that heavily, but like clearly it's like this dude. Well, I almost called him a chick. He's a trans guy. My God, I was like,
Naiad child,
the fucking man child. Once he linked his Instagram in the description, and I looked at it, and I immediately he's like posted a picture. He's I think an Australian or a New Zealander or whatever, but he posted a picture.
Kiwi?
Yes. Basically, it showed the American flag getting burned. He's like, how many times do I have to post this for the Nazis to understand? And I'm like, I wanted to leave a comment being like, motherfucker, you cannot be an American Nazi. We fought against the Nazis, in World War II. Was that the necessary goal? Were we like from the beginning we're going to kick the Nazis' ass? Of course not. But we saw the threat that they posed to the world. We saw the threat that they were in general. And we came, we saw, and we kicked their ass.
We came, we saw, we conquered their ass. End of story.
Yeah.
Conquered their ass. That's some gay shit right there.
This coming from the same guy who said he'd want to give Blair White a blowjob.
You have to do it. You gotta do it the right way. We came, we saw, we kicked their ass.
We came, we saw, we kicked his ass.
You gotta do it like Bill Murray.
I'm like a prepubescent.
I was trying to. Is that not good enough?
Sound like a prepubescent child.
You sound like your balls were just dropping in the middle of doing that. I'm just like, holy hell, Zach! The testosterone finally kicked in. Anyway.
Oh, speaking of Conundrum, have you
seen enough testosterone for you, man?
You sound like a rapist.
You sound like Bill Cosby if he was white.
Zip, motherfucker. Cherry's
How
gonna rape your ass.
How about Pudding Pops?
No, he sounds like Cherry if he ever went to prison.
I'm here to rape your ass. My name's Cherry.
Oh my god, it sounds like you said chair. I'm like, imagine if
I don't think Chair would be able to with him being in a chair.
As you were saying, man.
Imagine if he went to prison. I don't even remember what I was saying. But
he wouldn't feel anything considering he can't feel anything below the belt.
So why am I even still here with you assholes? I have work in the morning.
Oh,
I don't
speaking
know.
of Conundrum, have you seen an anime called ReZero?
Yes.
ReZero.
Well, I'm gonna show you something that my sister bought me for Christmas.
As Zach was animating,
oh, nice.
He realized his true feelings for Red Pill Black, and he decided that
fuck off.
Instead of animating,
I got my mom watching anime. She watches Cheese Sweet Home, the one with the cat.
Never heard of it.
Zach decided to write a fanfic of himself with her, and
because he's so desperate, and no one will ever fuck him in 20 years.
Oh come on! He has a way better chance than Josso Tits from getting laid.
Oh my god! Yeah, I think I've read Zach's fanfic. It was pretty interesting. Blair White and him in the shower. Blair ripped off his pants. And then there goes the monetization, kiddies.
Wait a minute, what the fuck are you talking about? A fanfic?
Yeah, dude, you posted a fanfic publicly last year, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, wow, Zach, weird how a lot of conservatives are kinky bastards.
Yeah, you were getting hot and heavy.
What the fuck, JJ?
I'm gonna read you like a prison bitch.
JJ, do that again. Do that again, JJ. Does this little fucker realize he's muted?
I did.
My god, that was great.
Oh my god, I'm glad I got that on camera.
And later on in the fanfic, Rin joined, and so did Red Pill Black. I mean, Zach, you have a very, very creative, to say the least, imagination. Debatable as to whether or not it's healthy or not, but you have quite the imagination there.
Imagination, eh?
Oh yeah, and we forgot about the best part, the juiciest part of this fanfic. The most juiciest thing. Blair takes a 16-inch zucchini and shoves it up the Cemeterian's ass, and Blair's like, now you're gonna feel like a bitch.
What the fuck you assholes talking about? Oh, I was cut it out.
Now I have to do what is part of my civic duty. Everything is turning black now. I see a better place, full of fire and brimstone. My heaven.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. As JJ had shot his own dick off, he realized that despite having now a 1mm dick, still bigger than Josso's. I mean, JJ also realized that. JJ also realized that hell, he could be a homeless guy living in correction. As JJ was jerking himself off with his sausage fingers, he realized he was still
as JJ was beating off his 1mm dick, he realized old and homeless and has no teeth that Jocelyn will be sucking his dick for money.
As JJ was sucking off his own gun, he realized he was still better looking than Josso.
Oh man, JJ, you are officially the copper cab of the poor bastards.
Yes, as JJ was now going to town on his own gun, he realized he still didn't look as bad as Josso, man.
This is so good. This is gold right here. If I ever decide to do a channel
JJ began to suck off his own gun, he realized in the future he'll be making gay porn with Jocelyn.
If I ever decide to do a channel promo for JJ, like so tell my subscribers, hey, check out these channels, I'm definitely going to include this footage in that video.
If I can find the part where he says, that Frozen Binary Studio makes him question his sexuality, fucking include that. Include that shit. And my God, like, it will be hilarious. And JJ, he could be a homeless guy. He could be the most unpopular person in the United States, but he's still more popular than Josso, man.
He could be a big ass gay porn star and he'd be more popular.
Oh, JJ, that's beautiful.
JJ, get your sausage finger out of the camera's lens, you dick.
JJ,
really is a bunch of sausage fingers.
Stop! You're so desperate to get pussy that you're fingering your own camera.
As JJ was describing how much he fingers himself, he realized
what the fuck? That
JJ
finger motion, though.
JJ's had a lot of experience. That's why he has a lot of experience that way. That's why he's able to not break his fingers. He did probably break his thumb off one time because he went a little too rough there.
Then he realized that Vaseline is his best ally ever. Or he took advice from Jocelyn back in the old days with Crisco and mayo.
Hey, S.
What?
Damn it, S-Man. Oh, sorry, that's me.
All right, S-Man. I think
I don't have any Thug Life moments because all my moments are Thug Life moments.
Hey, stop it, S-Man.
Okay, S-Man, I think... Okay, can I finally...
JJ,
for the record, everybody, S-Man
okay, I'm gonna
muting Crusader.
Your face screams of future sex offender or future gay porn star, JJ.
Cut it out, S-Man. Go on, give him a chance to speak. Damn it.
All right, S-Man, I think.
Okay, fine. I won't do it again.
I'm going to eject your ass.
Okay, JJ, hurry up. We don't have all night.
All right. God. I think I have finally learned a position that good technique that you need to learn for your boyfriend, aka your girlfriend, or whatever.
Okay, that's it.
Or whatever it is.
Fine.
Two in the pink, one in the stink. aka 3 in the stink, considering it's your boyfriend.
JJ, why are you constantly telling me of your fantasies with Tower of Shandor? That's a little strange. Like you told the guy to smash to just go to town on his Mountain Dew bottle, which I think when you're talking about the Mountain Dew bottle,
again, nigga.
bitch, you're too white to say the word nigga.
I will throw you in a prison cell with Cherry and Peaches and see how it ends. AKA you being a pit roast. With a dick in your mouth and a dick in...
JJ, stop telling me about your sex
Shut
life.
the fuck up, motherfucker.
Bitch,
God, JJ.
Bitch, you're too white to say the word nigga.
That you would make Josh your official prison bitch so you would rape him?
No, but I think I know what would happen if I put Josh in the same room with S-Man.
I have
It
a
would
question.
not end well for S-Man.
I have a question. If I was
Bullshit.
if I was to eject S-Man, would that permanently eject him for the rest of the stream?
Yes.
Nice try, bitch.
Well, I probably need...
But JJ, I thought you wanted a girl to dress up in a Rainbow Dash onesie for you.
Hey, I have something I need to say to you, motherfucker.
Okay. How was your day, Conundrum?
Oh, pretty good. It's crazy as usual, but that's normal for me.
Yep. And yeah, but I think I'm gonna go at this point. I've had a good night chatting with you guys. JJ, I do think you need to learn to be able to take an L more often. Zach,
So I need to take the L like you...
JJ's a fucking nigger. Anyway, I'm gonna go.
So I need to take the L like you take dick, huh? Take the dick, bitch.
As JJ was twirling his dildo around in the air, like he just doesn't care.
We all know that that's a water pistol filled up with his own semen, so he shoves it up his ass and pulls the trigger.
He puts it in the microwave just so he feels like he's with a real man.
And his name Jocelyn on it.
Clip. Pistol.
Anyway, Zach, apparently, I think he ended the stream. I don't know. Oh, wait, no, he didn't.
Oh,
No, I did not. I did not. I just.
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
I moved my internet hub to a different location, location that was closer to my computer. So I thought that the wireless internet adapter for my computer would be able to pick up on the internet a whole lot easier, but apparently it's not helping that much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I need to go to sleep.
Yeah. Speaking of hubs, I think I can guess JJ's favorite hub.
Porn.
Damn right, motherfucker.
Yeah. We all know he wants a girl in a Rainbow Dash onesie.
I think JJ is the girl in the Rainbow Dash onesie. JJ, stop showing off your pedo stash.
JJ, is that a pedo stash?
You want?
Wait.
JJ's sexually abusing his camera.
Wait. That's no pedo stash. I know what that is. JJ, you got a stinky Sanchez, dude.
It's called a dirty Sanchez, and no, I don't.
It's when when they're fucking you in the ass, pulls out their dick and rubs it on your upper lip to give yourself a mustache. That's what that fucking shit is. That's a stinky Sanchez.
One run.
JJ got it from Tower of Shandor.
You want to run that by me again, nigga?
Nigga, you too white to say the word nigga. Nigga.
I think he got it from Google.
You're too Mexican to be. You're too Mexican to be in the.
S-Man, seriously, for the sake of my own stream and our own entertainment, stop muting the damn Crusader, please.
I mute him. You want to know?
I'm going to it. I'm gonna put you on ignore, bitch. Don't try me.
The reason why I put this, the reason why I put Josso Jr. on mute.
Bye.
Oh, he left. Okay, good. The reason I kept muting him is because it just made him salty. And you know what? His salt, it just makes the fries even better.
Oh yeah.
The fries being the fact he's roasted so severely.
Gotta get that special JJ salt.
Oh yeah, it's more healthy than
basically
pink salt.
Yep, and besides, there's enough people on Twitter that are so salty. You would never have to buy another truckload of fries. McDonald's just buys all your salt for life, and you make billions. And the communists are triggered because you're making more money than they will ever see, even if they put in like a tenth of the effort required.
Okay, so apparently only the last 2 hours are displayable on this stream so far.
Yeah, until you actually like until the stream's done and processed, you're not gonna see it. All right, hang on.
Yeah.
There's something up with my mic. I'll be right back.
Probably going to take a while for it to be able to process and so forth. So, hey, Conundrum.
Yeah.
One thing that I am a little bit curious about, like you mentioned the idea of debating space exploration with S-Man, but my curious thing is I don't see what it is that you would disagree with S-Man on.
Actually, okay, so the reason why we're having that debate is because in my debate with Owen, I said I would be willing, if I were the president, I'd cut funding for a lot of shit. And I think I mentioned NASA. I don't know if I said I'd cut their funding or what. I'd have to rewatch that stream. And sadly, it's with Owen's British ass, and it's it's a little over 2 hours. So I'm going to have to suffer for 2 hours listening to some British cuck tell me about the world, even though as if he has more life experience than me.
Was that the round 5 or the round 6 that you did with him?
Round 5, where
Oh yeah, that's worse than
robotics.
The 6th debate was a shit show for the fact technical issues persisted. Like the computer crashed on me, which nearly cost me the stream. He had to leave and rejoin. I had to do that, and it was a fun stream though. We didn't even though his fans were still autistic at me, he was okay. Like not in terms of debating, but
watch would be in the fallacy mode.
Yeah, I called alt-righters man children. # no regrets, motherfucker. And I felt pretty comfortable with how I did. There's a few debates where I'll admit there's a few debates where I'll be like, yeah, my performance wasn't the absolute best, but I don't think I did too bad.
And this is also a debate for me and S-Man to help each other out on.
Yeah, the debate is taking place on the 19th. On the 13th, I'll be debating Mjolnir Man for the second time. I kind of wanted to debate him on another topic, but I don't think he really even would care all that much for that topic.
What was the said topic?
Because he's a little more pro-choice than me. I think he was like hardcore about it. I'm just like, in terms of, philosophically, I don't really like it. I don't really like abortion, but at the same time, it's like I mean, you already know my reasons for being pro-choice, but his are kind of the same, but at the same time, they go a little further beyond what I would even argue for.
You're legally against late terms.
Yes. I don't know if I'd have to ask him about it, but it sounded like he didn't care, like how far along, but I'd have to ask him to make sure that's what he believes, but it sounded like that's maybe the case for him.
Fuck.
But yeah, hopefully, but yeah, if you want to mod that debate on the 19th, if you have the time, you can do so.
What, you and Mjolnir Man's debate?
That's well, if you want to do that too, you can. But I mean, between me and the old Conundrum here.
Oh yeah, sure, I suppose so. But I was mainly wanting to moderate the debate between you and Secular Hawk because
that'll be interesting. I mean, if you want to, yeah, sure.
I think I kind of find myself in between you two when it comes to that issue because obviously I am not of the extremist interventionist philosophy that Hawk is, but at the same time, I think I sympathize mostly with you when it comes to interventionism. Maybe there will be a few things that make me more hawkish than you when it comes to foreign policy. Just a very few things, but I think I might still have some slight connections to my own former conservative self when it comes to that issue is why.
Yeah, and
the thing is, Zach, my debate with S-Man is more of teaching him how to be more good with debates. Because he was doing good with the Lapis debate until he was exceeding the time limits.
Yeah, the Lapis debate, I'm not going to lie, that debate pissed me off in a few areas, but at the same time, it was fun. There were times where I wanted to put a screwdriver to my wrist. And there were other times where I'm like, okay, this is not too bad.
Because of people in the chat?
No, it was some people in the chat, and then sometimes like she seemed like overly dismissive in a few areas, but I'm gonna watch the debate before.
I think the thing that saved it was my commentating.
Yeah, I mean there was a few parts where where I don't know. I think I'm just gonna watch the whole video, take notes, and do a video like response to the debate. I don't know. Like there's a few debates I wouldn't mind like doing a debates review type thing or a response to it. Like either points that I didn't get to address or that were like that both of us didn't address and things like that. Anyway, it is extremely late for yours truly. It's almost 10 p.m. I do have somewhere to be in the morning.
And it's almost 12 a.m. for me.
Yeah,
almost 11 for me.
Yep. And thank you for having me on, Zach. And I hope your channel continues to grow the way it has. And I'm going to hope that you continue to take the leftists and chuck them out of the helicopter like your boy Pinochet. And if anyone does not know that's a joke, then you guys have no sense of humor. And as always, Darkon likes trannies. Until next time.
Right.
Well, yeah, he's an asshole. He's an ass.
He's an asshole, but he's our asshole.
It's getting late for me as well. I have work in the morning, and I'm getting way too distracted with.
Well, this is your stream. I'll let you edit. You can, if you have some sort of ending you give out, get it.
Conundrum?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to end the stream.
Oh,
give
sorry.
your farewell, give your
disconnecting.
End call.
Anyway, for all of you who have been watching, thank you very much for watching. For all of you still currently watching, thank you for sticking with us for this long. I mean, it has been a substantive stream. We have talked about psychology, sexuality. We have talked about a depressing subject, that being suicide. We talked a whole lot about drama, and I thought this was a fitting title for this stream, which I had it titled "So Much Drama in So Little Time." I mean, I think that speaks volumes because we had like 3 or 4 people that we have where drama is focused around with the poor bastards, and we talked a lot about it. And so I hope a lot of it has been resolved. In my opinion, this has been very substantive. It's also been very, very fun. Thank you, JJ, for being the copper cab of the group. And thank you, Conundrum, for being a voice of reason in all of this. And
it's always the insane ones that act the reasonable ones.
Yeah. And for everybody else that has joined, Humane Mind, Loudmouth Reviews, Mjolnir Man, it's good to have you back. Mr. Insanity, also known as Brandon, and everyone else, thank you all for joining in this stream. And I am Zach, the Dark Conservatarian. This has been the Cancer Podcast. We are signing out. Have a good night.